We are live. This is the live hangout. Let's see who the first person to join is. First person to join wins. Let's see. First person to comment wins. I gotta walk this on my phone too. First person to comment was Nia. Nia is the winner for today's live stream. Nia, I don't have a prize for you, but I'm gonna think of a prize for you. As a matter of fact, I think I might have. Well, give me a couple streams, Nia. You're the first one to comment. You're the first one in our live hangout. I hope y'all enjoyed the pig lady video, ladies and gentlemen. Look at y'all. Good to see y'all in the building. Vibes, vibes, vibes. We're gonna try and keep it lighthearted tonight. Look, I couldn't in good faith let 160 people just be able to live off of a 17-minute video. So it just didn't sound right. It just didn't feel right. I was like, man, just go live, Jonathan. I mean, what else are you really gonna do, right? What else are you really gonna do? Watch some TV, write a script for the new live stream. In Mode, welcome to the channel. She says, new subscriber here. So good to see you, In Mode. I hope that you enjoy our community. You'll find that the ladies and gentlemen here are much, much, much more friendly, accepting, intelligent on a lot of fronts as well. No offense. Everybody's unique in their own colorful way in this world. But I think you're really going to enjoy our community and the ladies and gentlemen here. So welcome to the channel. What's up, Drew? What's up, 24 Riam Tali, Jojo1, AP Bunny? Good to see you. We got a couple members in the building, AP Bunny as well as Kier, flexing their membership badges. We have the new videos for the members coming out soon, ladies and gentlemen. Coming out soon. Hey, Ty. Good to see you. Sean in the building. Cantor on. Hello. Hello, my Virgo child, Lori, Queen Oshun. I didn't know Oshun was a spiritual something, deity, I believe, right? Oshun. Sophia, good to see you in the building. Yeah, I just had to. I don't really even have anything to talk about right now, to be honest with you. Lori says, I knew there's a reason I liked you. My brother's name is Jonathan. Well, there you go. Your brother is an incredible man. And he's a good looking man, too. I'll tell you what, with the name like Jonathan, he's a good looking guy right there. I appreciate the love. Hey, Nisi. Nisi's new to the channel as well. Ty says, too many males going to jail. We need to discuss. Yeah, we can talk about that. We can talk about that. I think the last time I looked at the statistics, it was 1 in 4. Or more than likely you're going to end up in either jail or prison. I mean, I've been to jail for traffic tickets. So maybe prison is what we should kind of have the discussion to focus on, right? Because prison means that you're there for a while, or county jail means you're there for a while. I was in city jail. My longest stint in city jail was for 2 weeks, and that was for a failure to maintain financial responsibility. You know what's amazing? With the government, so I had lots of money in tickets, right? I had lots of tickets, lots of warrants and tickets, right? Thousands of dollars. This is hilarious, right? I had tickets for not having an current insurance policy. I had ticket for not having a driver's license and still driving. And I didn't have the money to pay the ticket, right? I was living in my car at the time, and I didn't know anything about indigency or, telling the judge that you don't have a place to stay so the judge can write it off for you. Or else I would have tried to go that route. But it's funny because you end up getting locked up in jail for failure to pay your tickets. And then when you get out, now you don't have that car, you don't have that job anymore because you've been in jail for 2 weeks. So now you're fired unless you had a cool boss, right? And you're in a worse position than when you went in. It's pretty crazy. You can't win sometimes, 7 p.m. in Cali. Wow. That's crazy. 7 p.m. in Cali. It is 9:10 here in Texas. And I think it's even as far as 11:10 in the most eastern part of the nation. Cali. I was out in Miami Miami. Miami's great too. I was out in Los Angeles in 2019 for 6 months. R. Kelly, R. Kelly's cooked. R. Kelly is cooked. I saw you, Ty, in the Divested Zealot channel. Yo, that outro song that Divested Zealot played, let me see if I can find that really quickly. That R. Kelly song was hilarious, yo. Let me see if I can find it. I might just have to go to Divested. Okay, I think I found it. Oh, this is gold right here. Y'all gonna enjoy this. Is it copyrighted? No, thank God. Hold on 1 second. Let me watch it. No, this isn't the song I was looking for. But they got some. Okay, apparently there's multiple remixes of the R. Kelly song right now. So let me listen. All right, let me go to Divested Zealots page because y'all are gonna get a kick out of this. I have to show this. I was like, my goodness. Now that is funny. Shout out to Divested Zealot. 1 second, y'all. All right, I found it. Here we go. Bear witness to the R. Kelly song. It's not going to be the best picture, but you can see hopefully a little bit. R. Kelly is going to jail, y'all. Here we go. My son just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
How can I pay child support? How? How can I get paid? How can I take care of my kids? How? How can I pay child support? How can I get paid? How can I take care of my kids? How? Can somebody get us? I don't want to tissue. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You're telling me, man. You don't want to believe it. Y'all trying to kill me. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth.
Black people are undefeated.
You don't want to believe
this is fire, yo.
30 years of my career. I flew in on a helicopter with a damn puppy. I didn't do this stuff. I didn't do this stuff.
Lord have mercy.
I hog-tied her. I don't know how to hog-tie people. What would I hog-tie?
If you're not listening to the headphones, put in your headphones. The bass is serious.
How stupid would I be to do that? How stupid would I be? How stupid would I be? That's stupid, guys. Is this camera on me? Yes. This is not about music.
You've never been with underage girls. Can you really say that?
I sit here and say this. No. How can I pay child support? How? How can I get paid? How can I take care of my kids? How can I pay child support? How can I get paid?
Well, oh, they had the chopped and screwed. So it ended up being the chopped and screwed version kind of working its way out. Once again, Divested Zealot, Zealot, if you want to check that out. It's on our last live stream, and it starts at the very end, the R. Kelly remix song. R. Kelly is cooked, man. R. Kelly is cooked. So is Brother Polite. Apparently, they have new charges on him as well. Right? It just boggles my mind. How can you be a multi-millionaire? You have access to any woman on the face of the planet, right? And you go after teenagers. How? Yeah, Ty, that's hilarious. I don't see anything wrong with a little prison time. Well, listen, I'm gonna open up the panel. If y'all want to hop up, y'all can talk, man. This is a free hangout night. We can learn more about each other. If you have a question for me, then you can ask away. The last hangout stream, it was funny. I had one of the channel members. She was like, I thought it was gonna be a hangout stream where we learn more about each other. It ended up getting serious. And I was like, yeah, that's true. So this time we're actually gonna be chill. All right. We're actually gonna learn more about each other. All right, I'll pin that message for y'all. Thank you, Exoticals United, for sharing the Tinder pig lady video. Exoticals United. I haven't seen that channel before. It's good. The caption says they celebrate mixed women of all shades. Mixed women of all shades? I'm going to have to let y'all kind of be the judge of that. I don't want to say anything that's obviously going to get my channel in trouble.
The perspective of a light-skinned woman. So I am light-skinned. I'm African-American and Afro-Latina. On my mom's side, they are Latina, and they're also Italian and Irish. And then on my father's side, they are mainly, kind of medium to dark tone.
I appreciate you, Exoticals. I know you're probably watching right now. I just don't want to get the wrong message, by celebrating the mixed women or all women, right? Hi, hey, she's here. Exoticals, maybe you can come up and kind of explain a little bit more. Hi, Exoticals. It's good to see you. Ty's in the building. Good to see you, Ty. It was good to see you in the Divested Zealot chat as well, Ty. How's everything going? Kiera?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, it was going great. I just caught a little bit, but I had to rewatch that R. Kelly thing because, it was so hilarious. It's just the house, and I just felt like I'm just so glad that he's going to jail. Like, I just feel like I've just been saying jail for like the last week. I just love when a rapist goes to jail. My heart flutters.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the most gruesome, I think, crimes against humanity that one can kind of, perpetrate, especially when it's young ladies. It's very, very. I saw Exoticals. Thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm glad that you're enjoying the channel. It is very disturbing, and like I say, in these guys' case, and this is obviously disturbing in and of itself. But what's more perplexing to me is when you have a millionaire times over, and he, for whatever reason, still can't find a woman of a legal age, and even as pedophilic or apobophilic, however you say it, of dating an 18-year-old as a 30-year-old man might be. I mean, for God's sakes, it's at least if you're gonna just do trash, do dirt, go for illegal. I mean, it's just crazy to me. But some of the girls were, I think, 14. I think a few were 13,
It was
and
women and men. It was women and men, and they were. It was bad.
Yeah, that's just. He's not going to have a good time in jail. They don't do well with those guys, man. They don't do well with those guys. I've watched a lot of jail documentaries. Maybe we'll play one here in a little bit, actually, to kind of show y'all. But those guys have a very hard time. Now, he has money. R. Kelly's got money. So Sherelle says 13. One of them was 13 years old. 13, man. He's got money. So he's going to probably be able to pay for his safety, right? But I've heard some pretty bad stories, man. Pretty bad stories from guys that go in there with charges. I even heard a story about this one guy, right? Apparently, and get this is crazy, right? This guy, when you get really drunk at a bar, sometimes guys, they'll just go to the bathroom outside, right? Just to relieve themselves, right? Because you're so drunk, they'll just go to the bathroom outside. Sometimes women do it too, right? Well, apparently that gets you an indecent exposure charge, which comes over on your rap sheet or on your papers as a sensual something charge, right? It sounds like a worse charge than it is, right? So there was a story of a guy I heard in prison who all he did was go to the bathroom outside, but he got charged for sensual something, or what's the other word? Indecent exposure, I think it was, right? And he got beaten nearly to death, right? And afterwards, one of the guards had brought in his paperwork to the guys who had beaten him nearly to death, right? And they were like, guys, he just went to the bathroom outside. Well, it's too late at that point. Yeah, indecent exposure. And those guys inside thought that it was indecent exposure with a minor or something along those lines. And man, that's tough. Kier, good to see you, Kier. What did you want to talk about today, Kier? We're enjoying our hangout today. It's good to see you as always. Have you been paying attention to the R. Kelly case, or what are your thoughts on that?
I haven't really been paying attention to it.
I haven't either as much, to be honest with you. I haven't, I knew it was going on. I just know that he's guilty now. So it's not like it was the O.J. Simpson trial case, right? It's not something that just gripped the entire international community, but a lot of us really did enjoy R. Kelly's music. I think he's got a couple really good songs. He's a talented guy, right? Why ruin your life in such a way? I'll never get it. Classic. Yeah.
Did you hear how the R. Kelly's lawyer tried to he tried to compare him to Martin Luther King? I was like, jail. Why? Yes,
that's crazy.
It was crazy.
I can't believe they did that. Lawyers are, man, I'll tell you what, lawyers are man, lawyers are some crazy people. I've been watching these depositions. I'm gonna show y'all a deposition video. If y'all ever get really bored, you need to start watching depositions, right? These videos are hilarious. Now, some of y'all, and I wasn't sure if I was really going to talk about this, because when you start talking about spirituality and people's beliefs in a higher power and a higher existence, things can get murky really quickly, right? So I want to be careful with it. But the deposition videos are absolutely hilarious. And it has to do with people who are either doing very bad things with the power that they have, like a very bad pastor who's accused of sensual assault, a very bad pastor who's accused of embezzling millions of dollars. And now the federal government or the judges are interviewing them based off of those bad things that they've done. So we're going to watch a little deposition really quickly. There's a man by the name of David Taylor. David Taylor was a pastor. We're going to watch the highlights because this is like a 4-day deposition here. And we don't have time to watch everything, but we're going to watch the highlights. And I just want you to kind of hear how twisted things can get and how quickly things can get out of control when you have men in powerful positions that are very, very bad people. Good to see you, Yaqub. Well, give me 1 second, Yaya and Yaqub. Let's watch this for a second, and then we'll continue on our conversation amongst each other. David E. Taylor. Let's check this out.
Is this residential center?
So he bought this house. He called it a residential center.
Oh, this is a place that the ministry owns. Well, not own. We're in the process of buying that. Yeah, we don't
So are
own
you
it yet.
renting to buy, or are you?
Yeah, we're leasing to buy.
Look at that house, man.
You have that as an asset of 2,844,500. So do you own it?
I just answered that, didn't I? I said we didn't own it.
Okay,
We're
but
leasing to
where
buy
does
it.
I'm sorry?
We're leasing to buy it. Did you? I thought we just said that.
All right, but
Yeah.
you have listed it as an asset worth $2,844,000.
Oh, that should be more of a liability.
All right, so where does the number 2,844,000 come from on your
That's the
asset and liability?
That's, I guess, the.
So if you're not quite understanding right now, you can't buy a $3 million house with the church's money. It just doesn't, that's not the way it goes, right? Since you're not getting certain tax deductions, since you're not getting certain tax applications, whatever it might be, you have to do certain things with your money as a church. A certain percentage of it has to go back to the community. There's a lot of different laws in regards to the church because the church can claim, the church can do certain things with money that no other business can do. AKA known as the separation of church and state, right? This is something that the United States Constitution was really, really specific about, right? And welcome to the channel membership. Choose better. Enjoy the member videos on the community tab, part 1 and 2 of how I became homeless, as well as the fishing vlog. Part 3 is coming out, I say tomorrow, but it's probably not going to be out tomorrow. The next day after, right? Well, thank you for becoming a member. Enjoy that. And I really appreciate your support. Let's watch a little bit more of this deposition here, and we'll move on.
Praise over. Closed also for television ministry for the years. So
And so you use ministry money to buy your wardrobe.
outfit.
Your
It's allocated more towards ministry apparel.
Is that going to what your income is?
I'm sorry. I don't
Do you
understand.
show that in your income that you got Louis Vuitton clothing?
No, that's not. That
That doesn't show.
because it don't go there.
It
Louis
don't go
Vuitton.
there. I don't know what that means.
It don't belong there. That's out of place.
What's out of place?
You don't get taxed on things like that. That's for ministry business purpose.
Louis Vuitton was
So
for the
it's
ministry
not-
business.
Louis Vuitton.
Well, you can call whatever you want.
So June 2014, you spent $3,500 by JMMI to Versace in the Bahamas.
Mhm.
Yes?
I'm sure that's right. If it shows there.
And that was for clothing for you?
Yes, probably. Yes, most likely.
So you don't see that there's any problem when you're ministering to the poor, the sick, the needy, to be appearing in Louis Vuitton and Versace?
Well, that ain't something I purchase all the time.
Well, it looks like you did several
No.
times in
I mean, I'm a very frugal person when it comes to this. I go to the right places to get a lot of suits. And if I get some from those places, you don't see that.
you
in
don't
that
see I don't
bill.
see Macy's.
No, you don't see that, because Macy's don't have the kind of suits that I wear. But what I'm saying is
Macy's doesn't have the kind of suits that I wear. I think they found out that he spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on designer clothing. Leader of the people, Pastor. Okay, good to see us. Let's go ahead and go with the classic. Yaya. How are you enjoying your evening so far?
It has been a very good day for me. I do have to say that. Can you hear me clearly?
Oh yeah, I hear you perfectly.
Awesome. I did want to make a comment about just, I guess, just seeing how deep the behavior of the underground sex industry is in America. It proves to me how deep it is, and that it does make sense because it's something that a behavior that has been allowed for hundreds of years. But to see the full defense of protecting someone you like over someone they victimized,
Hmm.
it was truly amazing. It was kind of triggering, and I've been having these discussions with family members and other friends about the abuse that we've been through in our lives and stuff, and how much it was just like, just shut up, eat it up, and keep moving. It's like, okay, you're fine, keep moving. Like, but when it comes to the people that are victimizing people, like, it's like we have to have so much sympathy and empathy. The fact that they were like, well, he was abused too, and he went through this and no one got to talk to him, and I'm just like, bruh, and you become an adult and you grow up and you know what you did wrong. Like, why is it so normal, quote unquote, for us to protect people who have hurt and abused us? And
Yeah. Yeah, I think that that's the problem that a lot of people are having with this case, right? It was just like, why? How did it get to that point? How did it get that bad? Just because somebody's so talented, whatever it might be. A lot of the time, we let those who are just very talented in our community go without accountability. I don't know why we do that. That seems to be a norm in our community, though. To some extent. And I even heard on the Divisive Zealot channel, there was some lady who was seriously defending R. Kelly. I mean, like, seriously defending him. I was just like, wow, that's pretty crazy. I don't know. Yeah. Let's see if Yakub knows. Yakub, the floor is yours, Yakub, or Jacob. How do you say your name?
It's Yakub.
Yakub. All right, we got it. Yakub. Yakub, what do you want to say on this lovely, what is it today? What's today? Tuesday night hangout.
R. Kelly is guilty for all charges for sex trafficking. His sentencing will be on May the 4th, 2022, which is next year. After that, they will do a death ritual on R. Kelly.
Okay. Well, thank you, Yakub, for letting us know that. And you stay on the panel, okay? And we'll see you in a bit, all right?
What's a
No
death ritual?
problem.
What's a
Okay,
death
well,
ritual?
A death ritual is blood sacrifice.
a
That's
blood.
what death ritual is.
Oh, well, how did you find that out, Yakub?
I've been doing some studying on sacrifices. There's humiliation sacrifice, there's child sacrifice, there's occult sacrifice, and
Okay.
there's Illuminati sacrifice.
Okay, Yakub, I'm very curious. Would you be able to cam up, or do you have a webcam on your phone or something?
Oh yes.
Okay, I'm gonna take you down. I want to see what you look like. So turn your camera on if you can. Because I'm very curious. I'm just having a hard time putting my finger on exactly on a lot of stuff right now, to be honest with you. Somebody agrees with you though. I am Host says he's not wrong. Yeah, we're getting into it tonight. We're talking into the dark, deep abyss, the conspiracy section of YouTube tonight. I know, right, Lori? I hear you. Well, I hear you. All right, here he is. This is Yakub right here. Yakub. Okay, that's you. All right.
Yes, that is me.
Now, do you talk like that normally?
No, I do not.
Okay, well, let me hear your normal voice.
Here's the thing. R. Kelly is guilty.
Oh, all right, Yakub. Yakub is might be clinically somewhere on a little different spectrum than we are at, and there's nothing wrong with that. We're all unique. It's Goten. That's it. It's Goten. There you go. We still don't really know who that is. Anyways, it's good to have you join on our hangout. Goten/Yakub. You stay in the background right now, and we'll see you in a little bit. One of our trolls. The trolls are interesting, though. The trolls are interesting. You gotta appreciate them. I'm reading some of your comments right now. THT, look up Yakub in Google. Not good. Okay, it's bad, huh? It's a bad deity and an entity. I'll keep that in mind. Charlie Brown's here, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see Charlie in the building. Charlie, welcome to the Hangout. Hope you're enjoying your evening so far.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, Charlie. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I was listening for 5 minutes and already I got irritated.
I know, right, Charlie?
I'm
Can we get
irritated.
some regulation once in a while in these lives, please?
Man, I'm as irritated as a saline laxative. I'm serious.
That's pretty irritated.
I'm irritated. Kier, is it just me, Kier and Ty? Don't you get tired of these weird ass niggas calling in the lives?
I get tired of them having a chance to speak. Shoot, can we just cut them off and move on? We got better things to do. We busy over here. We really trying to solve stuff. We ain't trying to play games.
They sickening. Big grown rusty ass niggas sitting on the internet changing their voices, sounding like Darth Vader and the what is it? The Chronicles of Narnia and stuff. I'm like, nigga, go sit your silly ass down.
Not the Chronicles of Narnia, not the Chronicles.
I'm serious. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe type of crap. I'm like, nigga, go sit down.
Charlie.
Huh?
I said, Charlie, he up in the closet?
Yes, he in the closet. He in the closet. Come on, nigga.
Listen, R. Kelly about to be in that jail closet. That's where he about to be.
This is ridiculous.
Poor light.
I get so sick of them. Why is everybody in a fantasy land? And it's just me. I'm a person of logic. Conspiracy theories are for people that can't figure out how the real world works. They just create something in their mind. Everything ain't mystical. Most stuff is just common sense. If it don't make sense, don't do it. If you in doubt, count backwards. Think before you speak. Think before you ascribe to some belief system that somebody made up. That's how you got Hebrew Niggerites standing on the corner with them space cowboy outfits yelling at people. You can't just believe everything because somebody tell you. Oh, I'm gonna mute out on this. I'm gonna mute out.
Right? Tell them, Charlie. Shoot, I thought we learned that the hard way when we was kids.
This is
following
ridiculous.
people behind people.
And how come all the black leaders gotta have a criminal record? How come we can't never have a leader that ain't never been to prison?
Right.
No.
I just it's just why, and let me ask this one question. Why is they always trying to work on something? When is it gonna be? Oh, I'm chilling, I'm cruising. We can't even listen to the D'Angelo song. It's just
when they say they working, they really chilling. That's why.
Yeah.
They ain't really they think they're running their chops all day.
They be way behind all of us. I just feel like I'm 29 and most people in my group is behind me. What I'm supposed to do? Sit in the house.
Exactly. This make me think about my first day of law school when I had a professor come in on the first day and say, "Come on, class, sit down. We're behind." It was the first day of class.
Yeah, it is the child.
How we behind? It's the first day. Niggas is behind on the first day. They've been behind since the first day. They came in and said we was behind, but they've been yapping ever since class started. That's why they never got ahead.
And then I just don't understand because they always say, "Oh, girls mature more than boys." Like, what is the problem?
Black women mature faster than black men out of necessity.
We're forced to mature. They were forced to mature too. They mature right along with us.
No, they don't.
I think honestly, I
said they would if they were forced to. Like,
I don't know that Y chromosome. I don't know.
It's sad because you know
that's
what?
True.
I listen to somebody like Honest Truth, and he's so intelligent and polite and sincere and everything. And it's easy to listen to Honest Truth one time too many and start getting this idea in your head that there's many more out there with common sense. It ain't.
Yeah. It fills you with a little bit of hope, like, oh my God, there's more out there. And then you hear them all, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot where I was. My bad.
There you go. It's just, it is what it is. I'm sorry, Honest Truth.
I know talking to you was like living in Never Land. I gotta wake up.
Yeah.
I hear you. I think that's, hopefully that can be one of the goals of this channel is to bring more guys that are like-minded and we can start to have more of these progressive conversations, right? And you hear guys that actually sound like they have a reminiscent or some sorts of sensible head on their shoulder, right? And kind of progress the channel with more like-minded men. And so they can start making content for themselves and getting the same messages out, right? Or at least starting to spread the word on their social media sites, because we have to get more voices from men who are well-to-do, who are in a good mental space, who are mentally mature enough to be able to understand the dawning problems that we have getting ready to greatly afflict the next generation of youth through the internet. And so we've met a couple, we've seen a couple, right? Good to do, well-speaking guys. And but we need a lot more, we need a lot more.
Honest truth. Can we at least get a nigga that don't sleep in a helmet?
Yeah, it seems, and that's the tough part, right? It seems like a lot of the guys who don't really understand, when we have them on, and God bless the gentleman we had on yesterday, right? He was talking about Dusty's, even though he had 2 baby mothers himself, and it was like, where's the disconnect happening? And I didn't want to flame him, right? Because to some extent that wouldn't have really done too much. I mean, he's at least taking care of his children, right? But it's crazy. I don't know. It's like, yeah, something was just missing, right?
I'm sure. I'm glad I went to sleep. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yeah, you'll see.
Charlie Brown, you and me both. I went to sleep
because I really did take a nap today. Also. But can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you have okay, so do you have any homeboys that are like well-to-do do you have any homeboys that are well-to-do? Are they black? Are they not black? Like what is it like being a man in the man world? Like, do y'all do things? Do y'all even talk? Do y'all say what's up? Like, do y'all even have conversations? Like, it just don't seem like it.
Yeah, what do y'all do?
Yeah. I don't have that many homeboys, to be honest with you. I'm not really a friend type guy, to be honest with you. I don't have lots of friends, lots of homies. I got probably 2 guys I could call up that got my back, but one of them doesn't even live in my state. And I'm gonna get to you, Erica, right now, as well as Tavia. Good to see y'all, ladies. Yeah, I don't have many friends, and I've always said this: I don't have friends, I have family. So if I call you my friend, then I pretty much think of you as an extended family member. But just from my social circles, from what I have seen, I would say that more black males fit the stereotypical narrative that we share on this channel in comparison to what, the black males who are upstanding represent on our channel, right? So it's harder to find like-minded, progressive-minded brothers who are mature enough to have conversations based off of accountability, based off of us needing to do better, right? Most of the time I'm met with pushback with, I'd say 80% of my general conversations with black men who I'm just kind of speaking to on the street. I was at a party the other night, and there were 2 black guys there. I think I told y'all about this. Both of them were pretty much, lost souls, I guess you can say, right? And so we had some conversations, but ultimately it really led to nowhere, and that seems to be the case more often than not. So I appreciate that. Good question. Erica, welcome to the live hangout. 172 people are watching right now. Erica, what did you want to say, or how did you feel about the conversation, or anything in particular you want to talk about at all?
Well, first, let me say I've been listening to you for a while, and I appreciate your presence on YouTube. It's very refreshing.
Thank you.
But usually I'm asleep or about to go to sleep because I'm old. Anyway, when I came in tonight, you guys were talking about R. Kelly and not understanding why people were defending him. And in my opinion, R. Kelly is just a personification of the toxic black culture as it pertains to worshiping black men and coddling them and having no respect or concern for the girls that are abused by them. This is a problem in the black community. 60% of our girls are molested before they're 18 years old. I'm one of them. And so if they're not going to tell on Uncle Jimmy, they're really not going to tell on R. Kelly because he got money and he's famous. And we love our celebrities.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Very true. And I think it'd be interesting, but I think another aspect of that is that, since we lack by and large, since so many of the black families in the black community lack actual monetary structure or monetary fortitude or fortification, when we see someone that does have a lot of money, we tend to give them more leeway in a lot of cases, right? And when the case of black males or R. Kelly comes to discussion, I think since he's talented, he's got a lot of money, and he's very big in what black pop culture is known for, which is music. He's got 3 huge things going for him that every black person really can tie into or really can appreciate on another level. And so I think the excuses that were made for him for so long, because everybody's known about this for years now.
Yep.
For years we've known about R. Kelly, and so it's funny to me that all of a sudden it's just kind of coming to light. But everybody just kind of kept sweeping it under the rug, and I don't know. We kind of joked about it, like the Michael Jackson thing, and I don't want to open up that can of worms because I don't know what happened with Michael Jackson and everything like that. But I'm sure maybe he didn't do anything. I don't know. But I'm saying for a long time we even joked about like, oh well, just don't be like R. Kelly, and that would be the extent of the conversation, right? But that says a lot about our community. Yeah,
that's what I was about to say. We have no soul. Everybody needs Jesus. I'm sorry, because this is ridiculous. Defending him like this and calling these girls fast and blaming them for what he did. I don't understand.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure about that either. I don't know how it went on so long. Erica, I appreciate that. We're gonna go to Tevi in 1 second. Erica, Elite Financier. Good to see you, my darling. It is her birthday today. Very special day. Listen, I hope that today, up until the point of midnight, in whatever region in the United States you live in, brings you everything that you desire, deserve, and more. It's an amazing day today. Without this day, you wouldn't be here talking to us right now. So a very, very special happy birthday to you. Be safe wherever you're at. And I pray and hope that you see many, many, many more. Many more. So happy birthday to Elite Financier in the building. Aaron Collins with the $5 super chat. We've had a member in a $5 super chat. Thank you. I appreciate that. He says, I roll with you, Truth, my brother. Salute to you and the beautiful panel you have tonight. I appreciate that. AC, salute to you as well, my friend. Tavia, what did you think about Charlie Brown also says in the chat, happy birthday to Elite Financier. Y'all are typing in the private chat. So you can, I think, make sure that you just type in the public chat if you have access to it. I'm not sure if you do on StreamYard. You may have to open up the YouTube app. But Tavia, what did you think about everything that we're talking about right now, or whatever you want to talk about on our live hangout?
Hey, Truth, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm chilling, doing my thing. I wanted to ask you a question that I couldn't ask you last night because I was so fired up. But anyway, so when you were on Themis and Thoth's live stream Sunday, did you stay the whole time?
No. I think it was like an 8-hour live stream. I was only there for a few hours, 2 hours, I believe.
Okay, because I didn't realize you were on there until I tried to roll it back, but then he had privated the video and I was like, no, I missed it. The reason why I asked you that is because I wondered, there was a portion of the live stream that was kind of ties into what we're talking about as far as R. Kelly is concerned and why so many people backed him. So towards the end of the live stream, Themis had said, Kevin Samuel has said that scientifically speaking, Black women, I forget how he phrased it. I've heard the clip myself. I have the clip where he basically says Black women are pretty much ugly, and it's scientifically proven that they're ugly, mathematically proven, and things of that nature. And one of the males on the panel was like, well, I don't believe that because he said he didn't say it. And he said he didn't say it. And the girl couldn't even say where she had heard it from and blah, blah, blah. And Themis and he said, would you change your mind if I played the clip for you? And he was like, well, do you have it? Something to that effect. And basically just kind of, asserting that you don't have the clip. He never said that. I bet you misunderstood what he said. So Themis goes and plays the clip, right? And he asked him, well, how do you feel about that? And he was like, oh, well, I'm disgusted. And you could hear this man's breakdown. He couldn't believe, one, that Themis had the proof, he had the receipts. And number two, he couldn't believe that his own argument, I should say his own mirror was being held up. Because truthfully, it wasn't that he was disgusted of what Kevin said. He was more disgusted that Kevin got caught. And I feel like a lot of these people that defend R. Kelly are in the same boat. Because we had the same instance with R. Kelly, right? We saw the tapes, or I didn't see the tape. I was far too young to realize what was going on. But adults saw this tape and still said, well, that's probably his brother. That could be his brother. Why are they trying to tear down this Black man?
Yeah. it's I forget the term for it. When you see something and you just completely convince yourself that what you saw you didn't see, and there's a term for it, but I
Isn't
can't
that
remember.
cognitive dissonance?
It is cognitive dissonance for sure, but to kind of it is cognitive dissonance, but there is a specific term for it.
Ty,
It's
Ty, help
I'll
us out.
I was about to
I'm like,
say.
what did y'all say?
I was about to say.
I'll remember. I'll remember in 1 second. It's some kind of effect. I believe it's something effect. But it's somewhat cognitive dissonance. But it's something that we do as humans as a form of protection when something is happening that's very shocking in front of us. Our brain starts to instead of make light of what happened, reprogram and reinterpret those acts that we saw happen in front of us into something else. So it protects our sensitive state of mind, because if we were to translate it as what it was, it would shock us too much, and it would hurt us essentially, right? I'll figure out the term for you. Yeah, truth bystander, I believe it is. I believe it's truth bystander. I believe that's it right there. Now this happens a lot. So there was a case, right? Now I saw this video. This is crazy. A guy was standing on the street and a man walked up to him with a gun and shot, but the gun jammed, right? But the guy stood there. The guy stood there. He stood there so long. This was a hit that was placed on him. He stood there so long that the guy in Brazil unjammed the gun, took the magazine out, he put the magazine in, re-racked the gun, and then shot the guy in the head. And then the guy died right there. But he didn't run. He didn't do anything. And I think that's called the truth bystander effect. What he was seeing was so shocking to him that his brain started reprocessing this as, no, this can't be happening this way. No, this isn't what's going on. It might seem like it is, but it's not. And it's a form of protection, which essentially got him killed in this sense. Now, a lot of people would run. So I guess you could say that this doesn't happen exactly the same for everybody in the same situation. But that is a bit of, I think, the issue or the situation with the R. Kelly thing is we see something like that and we're like, nah, that can't be going on. That can't happen like that. That's not it. And so,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it's
like a
very,
trauma
very
response.
interesting.
It is a trauma response. I think that's
Mm,
what you're saying. You're talking about how it's just a trauma response, how our brain responds to trauma. And there's a you either flight, you either run, you either fight, you either fawn. A lot of people engage in fawning when they have a trauma response. And fawning really is, let me just do whatever I need to do to get this person to stop or this to stop happening. Or so it's a lot of different types that depends basically on your personality. If you know your personality type, say if you know that you're a people pleaser, your trauma response is probably fawning because you don't want to make people uncomfortable. So then you have to look back into your life and realize who did this and how did it happen and blah 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 blah. But yeah, it really is a trauma response and we all deal with it differently. And some of us don't make it out. This is why people don't say anything. This is why people blame themselves. This is why people feel like, oh no, they recant their stories because maybe it didn't happen. And then because everyone is so manipulative and trying to get them to say with their truth and not the truth, it just gets so discombobulated. Yeah, but
yeah.
trauma, you guys, trauma is really something that can be worked on. It can be worked on. There is a lot of modalities and ways that we work with trauma, so it's not an end all to be all.
Yeah, definitely, Ty. I appreciate it. And maybe it's not the truth bystander effect, but I think this still has a little bit to do with what we're talking about with the R. Kelly thing. And the bystander effect purports that in a situation such as robbery or stabbing, bystanders are less likely to step in if there are a large number of people in the area. So the likelihood of intervention decreases. So it's not the exact, definition of what I was speaking about, but I think maybe we can kind of apply that to the R. Kelly situation a bit, right? It's interesting. The more people see that there might be help, they just won't be the ones to help.
Hey,
And I've seen
can I
videos of
share?
that as well.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
And
Charlie.
maybe if you can't answer it, maybe Ty can answer it.
Sure.
Yes, I'm a sci-fi fanatic. So if anyone's ever seen The Matrix, and I'm pretty sure everyone has, there was a scene when Morpheus was walking through the Matrix with Neo, trying to teach him that he couldn't trust anybody. And he said that the very people that we're trying to free are the ones that we have to fear the most. And he said that you have to understand that some people are so inured and attached to the matrix that they'll fight to defend it. So it's like in the Black community, we're all attached to some degree to Black culture, as degenerate as it is. And even though all of us can potentially be a victim of it on any given day, because we're so inured to the community, we fight to the death to defend it, even though it seeks to kill us. And I really don't know what that's called, but that kind of what it feels. It's kind of what it feels like to be a part of the Black community. That eventually your number can come up on any given day because you're living around people that just don't know how to act. They're just like degenerate. Okay, they're antisocial. But because you're so attached to it, you grew up around it, you become inured to it, and then you end up fighting to protect the same system that's seeking to destroy you. It's a really weird paradox. I really can't make sense of it.
No, I think you said it perfectly. Actually, I think you said it absolutely perfectly. I love that. Charlie Brown, you always have something really, really on point to say, and the chat loves it as well. Yeah, Charlie's on point, y'all. I agree. That's the struggle. I think that's the polarizing issue of what we're going through right now, right? And that's why I talk about Black Lives Matter, and we talk about Black Lives Matter the way we do, because ultimately, at the end of the day, the likelihood of the police coming to hurt us or harm us being those of us who are on this channel, who in our day-to-day activities don't participate in the same types of degenerate acts that would probably, be responsible for having the police called on you. I'll just say it like that, right? We don't have to face those type of issues, right? But once again, pointing out to what Charlie Brown said, the fact still stands that if you do decide to support the Black Lives Matter movement, even though it might be a good thing, quote unquote good thing, ultimately at the end of the day, like we said earlier, that's not really where your troubles lie, right? And like she said as well, more than likely the very people that you're trying to fight for and march for is where your trouble lies. But it's tough. Very well said, Charlie. Very well said. That's the struggle right now.
And also, let me add to that as well. We saw it last night on your live stream with, the young lady that went before me last night, where she was still holding on to this idea of like, she's like, I don't think you should just give up. And I never once was like, give up. I just merely mentioned for women to open up their options because of the mathematical improbability that viable women would be attached to a viable man in our community. And she could not let go of that Blackness. It's sad.
It becomes her identity, and it's a lot. It's about grief. It's about. It's about grief. It's so hard. I feel like, I don't know if you guys can hear my train by my house, but I feel like if you watch How to Get Away with Murder and Annalise Keating's character, I feel like that's what Charlie Brown is getting at. And that's what we see, the complexities of the world that we live in. And it's hard. We're all living in a prison, y'all, even white people. I promise you, even white people, we're all a prison to this world. And it's hard. It's complex. It's more than a meme, a discussion. It's really deep. And when you can actually see people, you're not going to be upset anymore because you're just going to be sad. And you just know that you have to protect yourself because we're all in this. It's sad. It's sad. As mad as we are, under anger is sadness, is grief. That's what it is. And we have to touch on that. We have to say, you know what? We're all just so sad. Wow, this is so sad.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead, Erica.
I was going to say, I'm not sad. I'm angry. Because at some point, you have to grow up and decide this is not what I want for my life. Even if I went through trauma. I wasn't rich growing up. I'm not rich now. But as I grew up, I knew there were things I wanted and there were things I didn't want. There were ways I wanted to act. There were ways I didn't want to act. And I'm not saying there's not trauma and that people are not sad, but they refuse to listen to the truth. And then they stay in their dysfunction and they want to blame white people or somebody else for the predicament that they're in. Folk have to grow up.
Facts.
Yeah. That's kind of the big thing. And that's what I see as well. It's And this is why I tell guys, and I gave that story, or I give stories about when I experience women who might be a little bit more confrontational with me or whatever it might be, and it's deeper than rap, right? But as a man, as a leader, as a male, as a human being in general, we have to take a step back and really understand why those emotions and why those feelings are there. And once you start to understand why those feelings and emotions are there, then it can help you not only get through a situation that's very negative in a positive way or fashion, but it can start to help you to understand how to rebuild the bridges that have been burned down for the past 50 to 100 years within our community. And that is what we need more of. We need more understanding and compassion. But right now, both sides, and to a certain extent, we have to fight fire against the fire that's Kevin Scamills and all these other ignorant-minded coons. We have to bring heat against it because the flame right now is raging so much. And I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen a fire that's just going crazy, and firefighters have multiple hoses on them, but you're like, dude, are y'all going to be able to put that out like in the next 3 days or so? It looks like the fire is just getting bigger and bigger, right? That's kind of like what we're dealing with right now. And water in this case and will be the solution. It is a universal solvent, but at a certain point, and obviously fire does not combat fire, it only gets bigger. At a certain point, you have to accept that the fire might just have to burn out, and you're just going to have to leave it be what it is, right? And so it's very tough and it's very challenging. But for those men who do want to, and for those of us who do want to really understand how to make the sections of our community who are willing to grow the best that they can be inside of the Black community, then there has to be a deeper understanding of psychological perspectives. There has to be understanding that we're playing chess, so that you need to play chess on the checkers board. Switch out your checkers pieces for the chess pieces, because it's very complex and complicated. And in order to really effectively move forward in all of the destruction that is caused by the fire in the Black community, you're going to have to be very methodical with your moves. But the more calculated and methodical you are, the better your chances to really come out on top are. But once again, that takes psychological intuition, takes wisdom, and it takes understanding. So these messages can be heard and really received by both parties, and I'm glad that a lot of y'all really seem to understand a lot more introspectively than the men do. Once again, another problem I have, these guys come onto here and it's the women who seem to understand the bigger picture more. This is why the ladies are more educated, right? This is why the ladies are building more businesses in the Black community than the Black men are. The ladies seem to be the ones who are understanding that we're playing chess. Meanwhile, most of the guys are still playing checkers. It's very interesting.
Can I say one more thing? I'm sorry. Somebody else talking. I'm
sorry. Go ahead, Charlie. You're fine.
I think that it's not really water that the Black community needs. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. And I read an article yesterday that was talking about the number of men in general in this country who are electing to not go to college, and how it's creating a marriage crisis in this country. They weren't talking about just Black men, even though they talked about it in general. We do know that Black men are the least educated, so that goes without saying. So it was written by a white man, and he said the most dangerous thing in America is a desperate, lonely man. But nowhere in that article, not a single time in that article, did he ever even imply that white women were supposed to lower their standards and marry men who did not meet up to their standards. He never even talked about that. He just talked about the crisis, and that they're choosing to not be educated, and that they're choosing not to do anything with their lives, and they're becoming lazy and degenerate individuals. And because they're lazy and underachieving, the women are choosing not to marry them. They're talking about white women. They weren't talking about Black women. But the difference between it is they're acknowledging the problem and putting sunlight on it, and basically saying the reason why the marriage rates are going down is because the men ain't shit. Y'all need to step up because these women ain't gonna marry you. They didn't say once in that article that those women need to consider marrying men who did not achieve what they achieved. So that's the biggest difference. And it's the same thing when people say, well, white men are pedophiles too. White men break the law too. Yeah, we know that, but they're not going to be celebrated by their community. And that's the difference. So when we say that Black men need to step up and do right, we need to look to when in Rome, do as the Romans do. They're giving you the doggone, they're giving you the program what to follow. If they're saying that men ain't shit, they ain't telling their women to marry them. They're telling the men to step up to the mantle. And that's what we need to do. And the sunlight is, let these Black men know Look, you either leave, follow, or get out the way. If you don't want to do what you need to do, don't expect a woman to want to be around you. And it's really not that complicated. It's a simple solution. The problem is black women have such pathologically low self-esteem. Most of them think they can't do any better. Really. And Kevin Samuels ain't helping.
Right.
He's not. But if black women saw their own worth in mass numbers, then guess what? Black men would step up or they die out.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree, and it's tough, right? I want to read this comment really quickly before I respond to you, Charlie Brown. Shemac50 says rap didn't help, but if music destroyed our culture, then it was weak AF to begin with. I'm just saying. I think that's a very, very profound and astute observation there, right? I think part of it is, before I get to Charlie's point, we don't really know our culture, and this is something that we don't have as black descendants of slaves. And I understand not all of us are descendants of slaves. I understand a lot of you believe that we were already in America to begin with. I understand that we have so many different beliefs. I try and placate this message to everybody so that there's something somewhere in each of my live streams that you can attach your perspective of reality to. So I get that. I really do. But the fact of the matter is we don't, as black people, really know our heritage as much. Majority of us. Now, if you're African, or if your parents were African, then yeah, you know that you might be, Gambian or Ghanaian or Eritrean or Somalian or whatever it might be. You know where you come from. But I don't know where I come from. I could take an ancestry test, but even then, the results can be somewhat mixed, right? I've seen that they're pretty accurate, and I've talked to a couple of people that have taken some, and so I think it's good. And I think maybe here's what I'm saying: we don't have cultural identity, right? White people are proud to be from America. They're proud to fly their American flags because they feel like this is their cultural identity. One of the things that's contributing to so many black people, black boys, black men specifically, is them feeling like they don't have a homeland to tie into. When immigrants come over here, they have a homeland. They know where they come from. They know exactly where their grandparents came from. We don't have that, right? And I think subconsciously, I'm not.
I'm sorry.
One second, Ty. Just one second, Ty. Just one second. Now I'm not giving this or saying that this is an excuse, right, for black men to be degenerate. It's not an excuse. Just because you don't know where your great grandparents came from, that doesn't give you the excuse to be a complete fool. But I am saying that if we're talking about how one acts and why one acts, and the motives that's been instilled through generations, or the ideological perspective of who you are in this cosmos, when we start talking about not having those basis levels of tangible existence or reason of existence, that affects a person, right? And so I look at these and I think about these types of things, right? We're the only people in the United States that really don't know where the hell we came from. We don't know. We know that it was a certain spot in the continent in Africa, but most white people, when you ask them what are they, they'll tell you, oh, I'm Irish, oh, I'm French, oh, I'm German and Scottish, and this and that. And they'll name exactly where they know that they came from because their parents, their grandparents have been very specific in making sure that they track their lineage. 90% of us, we don't know what the hell we have in us. A lot of us have white in us, right? But we just don't know. We don't identify with anything. And the only thing we have to identify with in America, unfortunately, is being the least in everything, right? Being the least in everything. It's a very interesting notion to think on. Something I think about. Ty, just give me 1 second. I want to let Queen Mercy and W go. They're on the panel as well. Queen Mercy, go ahead, then W, and then we're going to go back to Ty after that.
Hi, everybody. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you perfectly, Queen Mercy.
Okay, guys. I'm just going to say like 2 different points. I don't know if it was Tavia talking or whoever about the woman from the show from the other day. It was something that I've been thinking about for a little while, like from the movie Matrix. Like, you guys know how when Neo chose the pill, he woke up like in a pod, kind of like how he was reborn and everything. Do you guys realize that other people, even though Neo was the one, it was other people that was awake before he was? And when it comes to like divestment and things like that, it's kind of similar to like if a person is sleepwalking, you don't wake them up before their time. Like it's not our jobs to save anybody, like another woman or anything like that. And from what I learned is that life and pain and discipline is a form of pain and a special type of learning that's achieved through affliction. So sometimes the best teacher is life, for a woman to wake up and realize, like, hey, this hurts, or hey, I need to do something different. And that's just what I wanted to say about that. The other thing is, I'm noticing that we're all guilty of it at some point or another. The guy who came on impersonating a different voice, we have to be careful with these derogatory names that we call each other, because if it was the other way around, it would be a problem. And that's all I wanted to say. He didn't do anything, but if somebody expresses themselves on YouTube a certain way, it's YouTube. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's a balanced perspective. I appreciate that, Queen Mercy. Queen Mercy is very unique in the way that she sees things. It's cute. I appreciate that, Queen Mercy. W, the floor is yours. W, what did you want to say on this? What's today? Tuesday? I can't remember. This do say is serious. Okay, Tuesday night live hangout. Go ahead, W.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say that unfortunately in the community, too many of us carry this false notion that loyalty is royalty. And we are loyal to a fault, to our detriment. These men that we're being loyal to, all they do is abuse women. They take the lives of these women. They don't want to improve themselves. They make excuses for everything. They, like I said yesterday, they want to make excuses for the government. They want to make excuses for not building themselves up and having a career. And it's really horrible to have to continually see this, and to have to see this in real time, especially with right now what's going on with R. Kelly, and how you have some of women victim shaming these young girls that were abused, but also not holding R. Kelly accountable for what he has done. So this just goes to show that we need to um, hold people accountable, hold our community accountable, regardless if they look like us. Because even if they look like us, that doesn't mean that they're there for us. That doesn't mean that they're going to be in the front lines with us. So we need to really be observant of our surroundings and just hold people accountable, because other races of people, they will call out a Karen. They will hold other people accountable. So if they can do that,
True.
we need to carry that same idea. So yeah.
I agree. Well said. Well said, W. Your microphone is always a bit scratchy, W, and so it sounded clear. There's just a feedback in it, just to let you know for the future. But I appreciate that perspective. I want to read a couple comments before we go back to Ty the Gemini. Loyalty is not royalty, the classic Yaya says. Choose Better says truth. Being race loyal does not benefit Black women. I think it's a very, very well said observance, and this is why. Every other race being race loyal is to your benefit. If you're white, it's to your benefit to be race loyal because whites own the country we live in. If you're Asian, you're already race loyal, so end of discussion. If you're Latin, race loyal, because obviously if you're race loyal, you'll be able to have very expensive services. You'll be able to have a very tight-knit community. You have a very family-oriented and a very friendly community that is immediately at your access. There's nothing really that lends itself over to being a race loyal Black person. Why? There is no personal currency by and large. There aren't that many Black owned businesses when you're just traveling across the nation. You're not going to walk in and see mostly Black employees working in an establishment that's somewhat or professional, semi-professional. You just don't see that as much. I know they're out there. I know that there are Black owned restaurants. I get it. I really know that they're out there. But for every Black owned business that is professional, that's doing and paying all the city ordinance fees and fines and operating under A+ food grade scale by the government office, whatever it might be, there's 500 other businesses that are of other races, predominantly white, right? So we don't have that much to offer to those who are race loyal to us, other than in Black man's cases a lot of the time struggle love. We try and bait Black women to be loyal to us by saying, oh, you better be loyal to the Black people because, and it's like, because why again? Right? What? Because what? $45,000 a year? Is that what they should be loyal to? at some point or another, we have to acknowledge that there's not that much going on. And once again, I think it does fall and kind of come back to us not knowing who we are, where we come from. We don't have that sense of pride as a community, right? The ones who are the most prideful of being from the black war torn environments, from being from black communities, are the degenerates. Coincidentally, it's the Pookies and Ray Rays that are throwing up their sets, that are throwing up gang signs. They're the ones who have an infinite amount of pride of being from the block. It just so happens that the block is utter trash. So it's very interesting, very interesting. What are you going to be loyal to if you're a black person in America? There's not much. Ty, go ahead.
Okay, I love this conversation. I want to say something and then I want to ask a question. So I want to talk about what Erica said. She talked about how she's angry, and I think that's such a valid and very real emotion. To be black in this country is to be with rage all of the time. And it goes into what Truth is saying about the lack of identity development we have as Black Americans. And I wanted to ask, uh, all the things that you guys are talking about, I'm getting to the feelings. I hear shame, I hear anger, I hear sadness, I hear unprotection, I hear rage, I hear I hear it all. But I want to ask, what would it do for you or us or Black Americans to have some sort of quote unquote home outside of what we are right now? What would that do for you?
What would it do for us to be able to have a home that we recognize outside of America?
Yeah.
Well, I think that it would give you an immediate community to tie into. So I believe that a person, when you don't have a community, when you don't have a way to identify who you are, it kind of falls in line with not having, in my opinion, a belief of a higher power, right? You start to kind of operate based off of your own moral intuitions or your own moral interpretation of life, right? And so whenever a person starts to always base a decision based off of what he thinks or feels, conversely to what is, I guess you could say, required of him based off of legacy, based off of community pressure or community support. Whenever you leave a person to their own vices, more often than not, they tend to maybe not always make the best decision for themselves in the most immediate form or fashion, right? But when you have a community that instills a certain tradition in you, like Asians do, when you have a community that values a certain skill set, like the Latins do, or like the Africans do, because they do value education a lot, right? When you have people that support a certain identity and are proud of a certain identity, then that has a very dramatic effect on a young person's life, on a young person's mind, on a developing teen's mind. But when you don't have anybody that's there to guide you or to give you any sense of self, and you're left to your own devices to form your sense of self, as a young person experiencing very traumatic situations, growing up in arguably the most destructive area in the nation, being able to form a healthy identity of self whilst not having any elders to supply you with an identity of self, or not having anybody to supply you with an identity of self, is nearly impossible, because you're just not focusing on who you are in your higher calling or where you came from. You're focusing on surviving, right? So it's a double whammy. You're dealing with the community, and then you're also dealing with people who don't know where they fit in the grand spectrum of things, i.e. what Terence McKenna said, your place in the cosmos. We're all trying to find out what we're supposed to be doing on this earth, right? All of us have sat back at some point or another, whether we were at our jobs, and we said, this is bullshit. I'm tired of this. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. And then you start to have a conversation with yourself like, well, what is my goal? What am I supposed to be doing? What is life really about? All of us ask this question at some point or another. And when you have a sense of self, those questions tend to be remedied a little bit quicker than if you're just a palm tree swaying in the wind. You might not snap at that particular moment. As a matter of fact, if you're a palm tree, you might not snap at all. But depending on how vicious the storm is, it could alter your life path. It could alter your growth to where eventually the palm tree just starts growing like this. Is it a palm tree? Yes, it's still a palm tree, but it might not be as valued as the palm trees that you see when you land and touch down at Miami Airport that are standing straight in the air. So I think that community orientation and identity of self is very, very, very important, particularly in our community, since we just don't have that much else to give, right? So
Can I
I
ask
think
a follow-up question?
yeah, let's let Salobo go really quickly, and then I'll let you ask your follow-up question. I want to let a couple people go really quickly though. Salobo, the floor is yours. After Salobo, we're going to go to Erica. Salobo, go ahead.
What's going on, True? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you perfectly, man.
First things first, I want to say shout out to Queen Mercy for coming over to my channel. Appreciate you coming over, subscribing. Thank you.
Nice.
In terms of everything that you guys are talking about, hopefully I do better this time. I'm not used to live speaking, but it's kind of because every time I come on here, I kind of have a lot that I want to say, but I know you kind of. How much time do I have to say what I want to say?
Yeah, you're good, man. You got time tonight.
Okay. Now I'm gonna say some things. Please, nobody get triggered. I'm gonna wrap it all up in a second. In terms of what things that I'm learning from this channel, I watched the video yesterday that you did where you was talking about, you put in parentheses, Kevin Samuel saw my video. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but you was talking about like everything. I don't remember the title of it, but it was a guy who was coming in giving the statistics from the CDC. You was talking about how the CDC statistics not accurate, this, and that. And I'm not gonna lie, like the way you was going in and saying certain things and how he was trying to say you were being feminine and all kinds of stuff, I was with you. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the whole time I was like, man, I like this dude. I'm like, man, truth is the truth, like for real. Like I was like, man, I'm like you more than I thought I would, so I'm enjoying what you're doing.
Nice.
But then it was another stream today, and y'all was saying some stuff about like I think it was Ty. I think she was saying like victim blaming or something when it came to talking about the women who call in the Kevin Samuel show. And I don't know, I'm not gonna lie, that kind of got me triggered because I'm like, y'all saying that black women are the most educated, but then at the same time you saying it's victim blaming. How are they victims if they choosing to call in? It's like, to me, that was a lack of accountability. And so basically, let me wrap it up. I'm not where I'm at right now in my life. I'm very in a stage where I'm just very pro black. The older I get, the more I realize I want a black woman. I want to build a black family. I'm actually attracted to dark skinned women more than anything. That's my thing. I had recently, my last situation was a Haitian female. I had to kind of step away from, in my opinion, I had to step away from the average American black woman because they don't really respond well to black men, no matter how good we treat them. And for my experience, I don't get thank yous when I hold doors open. Recently, I almost had to, I don't want to incriminate myself, but I almost had to dang near like take the lives of three men to save a woman who I dealt with in the past who I thought got kidnapped, and I didn't even get a thank you from her. So that's my experience. That's the experience of a lot of my brothers, but that's neither here nor there. Overall, I'm pro-black, and I'm not loyal to. I support Kevin Samuels. I support him. I support everything he do. But I'm still listening to everything you guys are saying. I'm still hearing your concerns. A lot of black women over here, I hear y'all use a lot of vocabulary and say a lot of things that I don't even hear from our men, and it's really blowing my mind. The woman who was going off the other night talking about we're becoming a permanent underclass, the passion in her voice was just beautiful. Like, she was really going in. I'm like, wow, like her intelligence is I'm really starting to see things from both sides. And so basically what I'm trying to say is I support Kevin, but at the same time, I'm not loyal. I talk about tribalism on my channel. I'm not loyal to one side, or I gotta only listen to this side, this and that. I'm going between everything right now. So in terms of this channel, I'm wrapping up with this, truth. My bad.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
In terms of this, I just want to say the things that y'all saying even right now, listening, it's amazing. And I really wish that your channel was more mainstream, because this I can see this channel really going far. But if I could give a suggestion, I would just say try to not be so triggering with the titles and the thumbnails, man, because that can be really turn offish. But if people got to just come and just hear the stuff you're saying, I can see this channel really doing some major damage, like good damage in our community, and getting these conversations moving more forward. I love what I'm hearing right now.
Okay, Salobo. Okay,
yeah,
Salobo.
my fault.
All right,
I'm not used to this live speaking stuff. I'm sorry.
All right, thank you. You're good, man. You're good. So as far as the channel names or the channel titles, once again, yeah, I know you want me to change the channel titles. I'm probably not going to, but I appreciate the suggestion. Right, it got you in here, so it's doing something right, obviously. As far as the accountability thing, and this is something that I think a lot of guys kind of agree with you on, right? I don't, and here's why. Accountability is a word that's been very twisted. Essentially, it's been bastardized, if you will, right? Accountability. Women need to be held accountable. Accountability means that you are responsible for your actions, and that the consequences in life are going to afflict you based off of the choices that you make in said moment or time. That's what accountability is. It's not one person's job to hold somebody else accountable, because naturally life holds you accountable for the most part, right? To a certain extent, I say this. Now, the reason I speak about holding men accountable is because men, once again, the reason I talk to men are leaders. Now, having said that, if you make a bad decision in life, you're still going to be held accountable. I think what ends up becoming a very big issue is you guys somehow make yourself judge, jury, and executioner as far as moral law goes. You somehow think that you have the moral compass, the moral integrity, the intellectual fortitude to be able to hold somebody else, another human being, accountable, when most of you guys just don't. Most of you guys don't understand the very basic levels of psychology. And so, Wilson, I'm glad that you really do enjoy these podcasts. I want you to really sit back and start to educate yourself on the human psyche. You have Ty here, who has her own channel, and she's an actual psychologist, or she's a counselor. But you need to really start understanding what it is to communicate with people, to talk with people, what it is to be a leader of people, and what it is to be a good person as well. Accountability in a lot of you guys' eyes is just another word to destroy a woman online. You'll say accountability when, in retrospect, when I listen to you guys and when I read your chat messages and when you go on Kevin Scamill's channel and you listen to these men berate and destroy women through their texts, through their super chats, and through their online small manospheric type channels, they somehow use accountability for abuse. These words have been interchanged. I mean, almost like all the time. And to be honest, it is abuse, right? I'm drinking Douce, so it's not helping me talk right now, right? But you have misconflated the word accountability with abuse. You seem to think that telling a woman because she had a child that she doesn't deserve to have a certain type of man is accountability. That's not accountability. That's called being a fucking asshole, right? That's called mental abuse. Her accountability is going to be life showing her that it's going to be a bit harder to live in socio-capitalistic America. That's what accountability is, right? But she doesn't need you to tell her that life's going to be harder. Why? Because life is going to naturally do that and play itself out as it stands, right? So that's the problem I have with you guys trying to use this accountability bullshit narrative, right? The only person that you need to really focus with accountability on is yourself. And you'll find that when you start focusing as far as being accountable as a man to yourself, that other people will see the accountability that you have in you, and then they'll give you the chance of day to actually speak or give them advice. You see, I don't have a problem with telling somebody how to do a certain thing in life. Why? Because they can see in my own life that I have a certain tact, that I have a certain moral code or moral compass that I live by. And when you're able to be seen as a leader, then people take you as a leader naturally. And therefore, you have some sense of being able to apply accountability, because in that sense of the conversation, they value my words and they'll be willing to subject themselves, men or women, to what I deem to be accountable for them, right? But if you don't have any sense of anything, then you don't have the ability to hold somebody else accountable, because you have not made it to that level within your own personal life. Focus on your life first. Be accountable to you, because more than likely, the person trying to swing the hammer of judgment needs to really go home at the end of the day and look themselves in the mirror and convict themselves of their sin that they just got done executing somebody else for. And that's the problem that I have with accountability. All right. So a couple of super chats here. We have 224 people watching right now. Lin, the lives always get really deep, but I think that's a great point, Salobo. And once again, man, I'm glad that you're enjoying this. I would advise you to stop listening to Kevin Scamill's. The longer you listen to him, the more you'll kind of misconflate what it is to truly be a man, what it is to truly take advantage of your own life and become the best person that you can be. The longer you listen to a failed high value man, the longer you listen to somebody like that, the worse off you'll be. Trust me, my friend. I wouldn't lie to you. Linlin with $10 says, how can somebody support you and Kevin at the same time? I think it's mutually exclusive. I'll agree. We cannot support an evil agenda and the same one that's meant to do good. Also known as the old adage, a nation divided cannot prosper, right? This simply means that if you are at war, if you are at civil war with yourself, then it lends itself over for an invading enemy to come and wipe your entire demographic or population out, right? It's not in one nation's or one household's best interest or a community's best interest to have infighting. Unfortunately, I do not believe anything of what Kevin says. even though a broken clock is right 2 times a day, because the way that things are said, once again, lends themselves over to a direct conflict to what he claims to be trying to absolve or to resolve in the community, right? You do more
Can I just
harm
say
than good.
one thing in defense of myself before I go get up? I'm about to leave and go to the gym. Can I just say one thing?
Yeah, we'll make it really quick. Go ahead.
Okay, in terms of what she just said, I just got here. This is really like my third. Well, I've been watching a little bit here and there, but I'm new here, so you can't really say supporting both at the same time. I've been watching him for months. I'm new here, so but I'm
Sure.
still here. And then
Yeah.
also in terms of what you said, so in terms of holding accountability, I disagree with that. In terms of I hear what you're saying, but the whole point of what I've observed from his show is he says marry before you carry. The whole point, he's trying to get people in the mindset of marry before you have a child. It's not about destroying. This is where a lot of women of the older generation, I realize, including my own family, I come from a family of very narcissistic women. They have a problem of acknowledging their own problems and helping the next generation of women being better. Instead, they rather act like there's nothing wrong with their dysfunction and continue on forward. The point of what I'm seeing, what he does, is he tries to get the next generation of women in the mindset of, let me get married before I have a child. Yes, there will be a little bit of casualties. Yes, there will be women who you come on here,
Okay,
you
so
see that it's
let me go
hard
ahead
for
and
them.
stop you. All right.
Go ahead.
Well, I'll just, and I hate to defeat you so
It's okay.
quickly,
I'm
but
just listening. Go ahead.
I'll have to strike you down. Here's the problem. All right. It assumes a few things. $5 super chat from NK215 says, for those straddling the fence, just stay over there. There's no neutral or middle ground here. I agree. So marry before you carry, the old timeless advice from Kevin Scales. And Charlie Brown, I'll let you go in 1 second, Charlie Brown. Just give me 1 second here. I think that applies to both men and women. Would you not agree, Solobo?
I agree.
So why is it that you feel the need to hold women accountable solely, and from Kevin's perspective in this case? Why is it that you feel the need to hold the women accountable in this case, but you haven't spoken about holding men accountable in this case until I ask you?
You talking about me or Kevin?
You.
Why do I feel the need to hold the women accountable?
Yeah. Why did you feel the need to apply marry before you carry solely to women, as if it doesn't apply to both parties?
But he's in a state of talking to women right now.
Right.
Okay.
So my question to you is this: if marry before you carry is what you're going to hold people accountable to, then this needs to be held accountable for both men and women. So that's the point I want to make here, right? Once again, I'm glad that you're here, but I need you to understand a couple of things. It assumes that, number one, marriage is just going to be an infinite process of happiness and lifelong solidification, which it just simply isn't. My next reasoning for saying this is this: if they divorce, if they split up, and it is the man's problem or the man's fault, this type of accountability will then be also thrown right back at her face. So say she did marry before she carried, right? She did everything the right way, but things didn't work out. Now she's still seen as the same single baby mother, which is the reason why you tell her to marry before you carry, right? You understand what I mean? So she did everything right. And this has happened. Ladies have come onto the panel telling this story. As a matter of fact, it was a couple months ago. I can't tell you the live stream. She married. She had a kid. The guy just kind of ended up losing his mind, right? Well, now she's that single baby mother, and she did the marry before she carries. So what are you going to hold her accountable for now?
Okay. So to that, I would say that even I've seen him say, okay,
right.
You want a
So
man.
I'm just going to kind of stop you. It's a little slow, but my point I'm trying to convey to you is that it doesn't stop, essentially, right? There will
But what I'm
always be
saying is that he's
something.
done that. He said, okay, if you haven't
Right.
been married to your first baby daddy, this, and that, how do you expect the second guy? But for people that have had, that they were married, he has said, okay, now in terms of getting a stepfather, now what are you going to bring to that man where it compensates for him having a child? Because that is a burden, not a burden, but it's extra. It's extra than most men want. Me personally, I don't want a pre-made family. I want to give my woman the joy of having her first child just as I do. But in terms of if I did take on having a stepchild, okay, how are you going to compensate for it? I never seen him destroy somebody just because they had a child, especially if she was married beforehand. I just don't see, to me, he's not that person that people are trying to paint. And then also in terms of you saying straddling the fence.
All right.
Sorry, I'm just getting passionate. Go ahead.
You're fine.
Sorry.
I feel you, man. I feel you. I appreciate you here. Painted Berries for $5 says Kevin Samuel says marry before you carry and encourages men to pump and dump at the same time. All the manosphere. That's what they all say. Yeah, a high value man has options. He's gonna date around. He's gonna do this. He's gonna do that. Pump and dump, right? But marry before you carry, of course. And another $5 super chat from, and I'm going to go ahead and let Charlie Brown go. Organic Black. She says, they say that as if women are the ones who propose marriage. Absolutely. Very true. Very, very, very true there. Charlie Brown, I'll let you go ahead and go there. After Charlie Brown, I'm going to let Corrupt Author go. After Corrupt Author, we're going to let Jess go. To a certain point, there's no winning these types of arguments. I'll just continue once again and say to you, Solobo, that the longer you watch this type of disillusionment, the worse off you're going to be in life. You don't have to believe me. I could care less, to be honest, if you believe me. If you choose to believe me and if you choose to listen, then I promise you'll be in a better position. Trust me. Charlie Brown, go ahead.
Before I make a comment, how old is the last guy that was talking?
Question. I always forget to ask that. I'd estimate that he's probably about 20 or 21 years old.
Is he still on there? Could you ask him?
You pretty close, but I'm not giving my age for reasons. It got a lot to do with my channel. I plan on reviewing
That's
it later on.
okay. You don't have to. I guess that you're in your 20s, but I mean, somebody can be 52 and stupid like Kevin, so I had to ask. Okay. Honest, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm 38 hot right now, and the reason why I'm 38 hot right now is because, first of all, a woman who has a child, the accountability comes when she raises the child. When she chooses to stick around and raise the child and sacrifice. When I had my daughter, and she's grown and married now, I had been with her father for 5 years. He was my first boyfriend. We were engaged. And I found out I was pregnant 6 months before the wedding. By the time I gave birth, the day I gave birth, they called all over town looking for him. He was with another woman while I was in labor. He showed up at the hospital, sat on the edge of my bed, and called the woman because he thought I was asleep. He called her on my phone. 2 weeks later, he had moved in with her.
Jeez.
So this delayed things for me. So I had to pick myself up, pick the pieces up, and I ended up going to law school and getting a master's of law, but it was hard. The accountability came when I had to delay and postpone the things that I wanted in life because I wanted to give a good life to my daughter. So this whole notion of accountability, that's some bullcorn. And he's the same age as I am. I had one daughter as a woman, as a Black woman, and I managed to get 3 degrees. He got one kid that he didn't even pay child support for, and he wouldn't even pay child support and didn't get 1 degree. See, this is why he resents educated women, because the ding dong couldn't graduate from college. Okay, this man been a failure all his life, and he telling us about what we need to be accountable for. No one's holding this man accountable for the fact that he was a bum-ass loser until last year when he told a woman that she was average. Before then, this man was broke as an artichoke, embarrassed like Miss Harris, living in a basement apartment, basically doing nothing with his life. And now he has the unmitigated gall to get online and tell women, oh, you hit the wall. You a single mother. I shouldn't have to raise your child. No Black woman expect for no Black man to raise their child. Black men don't take care of their own kids. Jesus. And 70% of them leave their kids anyway. What they mean? Oh, I want to have a family. This is ridiculous. Men can have kids till they're dead. Yeah. Children with disabilities, children with Down syndrome. And I know too many kids from the South that have old daddies with Down syndrome. So this whole notion, he feeding them a pipe dream. He say he support Kevin Samuels. Well, Kevin Samuels don't support you, sweetheart, because he leading y'all down the road to nowhere. If you're going to Haiti to get a woman, you just like them Black women that's not from America, because you doing just what white men do when they go to the Philippines to get a woman. They want something that's not Black, so they go to the poorest countries just like you want a Black woman, but you don't want a Black woman with a mind of her own. So you go take your ass down to a woman out of a hut and think she gonna be so happy to have any damn thing that she just gonna kiss your feet. The problem is, if you bring her here and she see how you shafted her and see how other women live, she gonna do you just like them Russian women and those Filipino women do that marry white men. She gonna drop you. So you live in a pipe dream. You
Please
need to
let
get
me
your head out
respond,
your
Truth.
butt.
Please,
I'm sorry.
please.
I'm a grown
I'm not angry.
woman.
I'm not angry.
I'm
Please
sorry.
let me respond.
Not now. You've said enough tonight. If you stick around long enough, I know you got to get to the gym anyways. If you stick around long enough, I don't think that you're old enough, to be honest, to even be having this conversation. But once again, you already know your point of view. I already know your perspective, and I know that the argument that you stand on. So stand on that argument. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to other people. I appreciate you, Salowo, for being here. You got a lot
Truth,
to learn, man.
Truth, wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. Can I just play good cop?
Yeah, just
I'm gonna be
just
nice.
give me 1 second, Tavia. I'll come right to you. Okay, just give me 1
Okay,
second.
perfect.
Thank you, DJ, for the $5 super sticker. I appreciate that. Also, thank you for everybody in the chat using your membership dusty emoji fingers. I got that idea from one of the channel members, so shout out to her. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we have a couple content creators in the chat. I did not see Demis and Thoth, but make sure that you subscribe to Uppity Unicorn. She's in the chat right now. And I believe there's one other as well, which I cannot remember the name of, but forgive me. We have some content creators in the chat. Shout out to y'all watching. Mine for $5 says the accountability is in taking care of the child that you did not create by yourself. That is accountability, ladies and gentlemen, right there. $5 super chat from Linlin says, I'm effing tired of this false notion of one-sided accountability bullcrap. Right. And when things don't go perfectly to play in life, as things usually don't, then there's more accountability to be had for women. The accountability doesn't end. It's infinite accountability. Right. It doesn't end. Keep on going and going and going. You know, you better not mess up. Don't F up. Dust fingers in the chat. I appreciate that. Solo, you can stick around. You got some time. If you got some time, then we'll see you and we'll hear from you in a bit. Tavia, I'm gonna let you go ahead and go. After Tavia, corrupt author, and then actually after Tavia, I'm gonna go with Jess, then you, corrupt author. I see you right there waiting, man. I know you've been waiting for a long time. Tavia, go ahead. We'll try and make it quick because I want to get to Jess and corrupt author.
I am going to make this very quick because I want to appeal to our humanity for just a moment. So this is me talking to Salobo. Salobo, I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to tear you up. What I want to ask you is, you just, we'll talk about some situational awareness. What you said earlier was you don't get a thank you from Black American women when you hold doors open for them or when you do certain things for them. Is that right? Is that something that you said? I don't want to put words in your mouth. Salobo?
Truth, always mute my mic when I talk. Is it okay if I speak?
Salobo, just
Yes,
talk. All right,
that
she's
is
asking
what
you a
I
question.
said. Yes.
Okay, so Salobo, do you understand? And I'm going to ask this question to the chat as well. Salobo, are you aware that when you do certain things for women that they might actually be afraid of you and their interaction with you? So ladies in the chat, put a 1 in the chat if you've ever felt nervous about your interaction with a Black man because you've been assaulted by a Black man because you were nice to him. Put a 1 in the chat. And I want you to take a look at the chat.
Well, I'm on StreamYard. I can't see it right now.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. So when you watch the playback, if you could, look at all the 1s in the chat.
I believe it. I think about it sometimes. I'm like, she probably don't want to, because a lot of if women be nice to every man, then sometimes they see it as an invitation to talk to him. I understand that.
Okay,
But,
I'm going to stop you right there.
Go ahead.
So when you do something nice for a woman and she may throw you some shade, it's not because she doesn't necessarily want to talk to you. It's probably because she was assaulted. Did you not understand what I just said? That's what I just said to you. To the chat, I said, have you ever been assaulted? Have you ever been assaulted? Like, you have to listen to comprehend, my beloved. I'm really being nice to you, trust me. So I'm going to pose the question again. Do you understand that Black women might not necessarily be nice to you in everyday interactions because they have been assaulted by a Black man before by just being nice to him? Can you understand that concept?
I understand the concept. I don't really know what to say to it.
Right. And it's going to be jarring, but when you listen to women and the stories they've got to tell, I need you to hear this number and really receive what I'm about to say to you. This is how deep it goes. This is from childhood for a lot of women. When they were little girls, they were touched by a Black man. Sometimes it's by somebody within their own family, and sometimes outside of their family. They have to deal with that. And then they grow up and they're told by the time that they're 12 or 13 that they look old for their age, or they look older for their age. And so they have older men trying to talk to them. They've got to deal with that. And so by the time they reach adulthood, their defenses are up. They're a little mad. They're a little angry because they've been through some things before. I personally have been beaten up by a guy that tried to talk to me, and I refused his advances. I said, no, thank you. And then I was assaulted. This is in the streets of New York City. Me walking 10 blocks to get to my home. I was followed home several times by men in their cars. Slobo, do you understand why I wouldn't be nice to you because you held the door open for me? Do you understand where I'm coming from?
It's trauma. I get it.
Okay. Believe it or not, a lot of Black women go through this trauma. This ain't no lie. And there are some of us that didn't go through this trauma, and they can't necessarily understand it, but they do empathize with us. So I want you to take this, at least this from this live stream. The next time you do something nice for a Black woman, and she's not necessarily nice to you, she might have gotten punched in her face last week by a Black man that looks just like you.
I understand that, but can I ask one thing real quick?
Go for it.
So then earlier in the stream, I think it was Ty that said this, and I'm not trying to hop on you, Ty. I'm sorry if that's how it's coming off, but I think it was you that said that, speaking up in terms of Kevin, he talks about therapy. You said that's weaponizing therapy because you always say therapy, therapy, therapy. I understand, okay, you might have issues. This is not that happened to you, but what are you doing about it? I have issues. I went through a very traumatic experience back in December that's been shaping my having to do with staring down 2 gun barrels for 20 minutes straight. I understand it, but what are you doing about it? How are you dealing with it? I hear you, but that's where the therapy part comes in. And if somebody is saying that, that's the solution to it. You can't say that that's weaponizing. It's a solution, even if it, you know
Can
what
I
I'm
say
saying?
something?
Like,
Can I say something? Because you said my name twice and I ain't say nothing. But now since
I'm
you
not
said
trying to hawk on you, but I
no,
apologize.
you
That's how
can't.
it's coming off.
I know you can't harp on me. I
See,
understand.
why are we taking it like that? I'm
No,
trying to.
no.
Okay,
I
go ahead.
just said
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Before Ty, Ty, I'll let you respond. Let's say something about this therapy
It's like
thing
an
because
aggressive tone. I'm being cool. Like,
yes, Levina. Ty, I'm gonna let you go right now. Therapy is weaponized in Kevin's case. Everything's weaponized in Kevin's case. All right. First and foremost, I know that you haven't even been to therapy for your incident. So once again, to respond with, "Oh, you need therapy," and to hold somebody accountable for therapeutic need or resources is a bit blasphemous, unless you've been to therapy for having 2 guns in your face, which I assume I'd be willing to bet that you probably haven't. Right. So once again, you're not in a position to do that because you need to focus on your own therapy. Right. But aside from that, therapy it's not a 100% foolproof way of just, oh, everything's okay now because I had therapy. You're probably still going to deal with some of the trauma of having a gun in your face for a good amount of time. It's going to take more than one therapeutic session. It costs money also to go to therapy sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. Just depends on the state you're in and the access. Ty's going to tell you that in 1 second. But therapy is not a foolproof 100% a universal solvent to all your problems in life. That's not what therapy is. Therapy is a way for you to take what you're going through and find a way to use it as motivation or a natural or a better way to cope for you or along that lines, right? It's just to make sure that you don't turn into a worse person based off of those events, right? But it doesn't mean that you might not still feel a little bit of pain or sadness every once in a while. It doesn't mean that you just forget about an experience because you went to therapy. That's not how therapy works, man. And I've been to therapy for years for having anger issues. Right. Ty, go ahead. Enlighten him if you'd like to.
Oh, I think you did a really great job. I just want to say that this is what we talked about on Themis and Thoth's channel. I had asked his panel and about like Black male privilege and if they believed in it, and they didn't believe in it. They don't believe in it. Black men don't believe in their privilege, and he's literally telling us right now. Like I said, it's the person that's in the position of power to take care of their audience. So that is the accountability that Kevin Samuels is not doing. Just like it's when everyone has privilege in a way. And to be on the internet, to be talking to 1 million people means that you have a privilege. So because you have that privilege, it is your responsibility. It's that person's responsibility to take care of their audience. Don't you think it's your job's responsibility to not make sure you get hurt? Don't you like it? Okay, and that's all I want to say.
Thank you, Ty. This is the first time I've had somebody make a fake YouTube profile of me. I blocked the comment, obviously, but if you see somebody else that's making disparaging comments for anybody that's on the panel and they have the name The Honest Truth and my logo, it's not me, more than likely, because my name has the rainbow emoji, right? Because I've been a member, obviously, on my own channel, right? Type that in the comment box. If you don't see a membership badge by my name, then that is not the real honest truth. That is the honest lie in this case. That is the honest lie. I guess flattery is the flattery is the ultimate compliment, so they say, right? Or what, imitation is the ultimate flattery? Is that how it goes? I'm a little tipsy. Y'all have to bear with me. Let's move on. Jess, the floor is yours, Jess, and then Corrupt Author is coming right up after Jess. Go ahead.
Hey there. It's a pleasure to be back on your show. I'm excited.
Hi, Jess.
I've been following the conversation loosely. I do have to admit I've never watched 2 minutes of Kevin Samuels, I believe his name is. Sounds like that's
Mm.
kind of who you guys are talking about. I see him as a closeted man who hates women, specifically Black women. So I just never saw the appeal. I'm not sure why many Black women see the appeal. I can see the appeal for Black men who need to take their frustrations out on someone, and he provides that scapegoat. I
Right.
do just really pray that the collective of Black women just do not give their time or energy to that man. But as it relates to this conversation, I wonder if Black women would play chess a little bit, like if we would, as a collective. I know the term like divest has been thrown around, but if you see it as kind of like a stock market exchange, and I do have like a Roth IRA, but I'm not too well educated
Okay,
on stocks.
Jess, we're gonna
But
have to kind of, I'm not sure about how much you watch. It sounds like it's a little bit kind of all over the place, just to be honest with you, darling. But we're gonna kind of wrap it up. You want to talk about playing chess a bit better for Black women. So what are some of the suggestions you have for that?
Well, I was going to just move forward with the analogy of the stock market and just divestment in the sense that the stock price of Black men right now is too high across the board. And I do think that once Black women start kind of pooling their trades and like slowly like divesting like these types of squabbling, it's going to shift the entire dynamic. Like the value
Okay.
that women of other colors see in Black men, if they do see any value, that I mean everything's going to change once
Okay.
we stop
Your
giving our
mic is a
energy
little
to it.
your mic is a little breaking up too, but to your answer, I think that's coming from a good place, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think that Black women being the most educated is playing chess. I think Black women building more businesses than Black men is playing chess. I think that they're doing
But
pretty
listening
effective
and
chess
talking
moves.
about Kevin Samuels is regressive. It's not intelligent. Like, why is he the subject of so much talk? Like, why?
Right. Well, I talk about him on my platform because it's my platform and I can, to be honest with you. So if you'd like to make a
Yeah.
platform where you don't talk about him, then you're more than welcome to do so.
Yeah. And I guess knowing that.
All right. Corrupt Author, the floor is yours. Go ahead, Corrupt Author.
What's up, everybody? This is the Corrupt Author, Cedric Long. This is my face. This is my name. This is my brand. So my thing is, man, I try to steer the youth in the right direction.
Okay.
Middle-aged people, older people, some of them can't be saying they too far gone. So these young people, y'all following a lot of these people on the internet, you're going to destroy your life. None of this stuff works in reality. Let's deal with foreign women. I had a friend dated women in Dominican Republic. I dated women in Africa. I visited a lady in Ghana. I visited a lady in Nigeria. What I had to realize, they were very submissive. It was very fun. They were very beautiful. What I had to realize, if you will sell out every boy in your neighborhood, every boy in your community, every boy in your country, to date Americans, then you're just like the so-called women you're running away from. You're doing this out of materialistic things. So, and my boy dating him in the Dominican, he was talking left and right about Black women, cash money stuff, till he found out his fiance had a whole boyfriend, had another profile on Facebook with her boyfriend. So like, if you thinking you can go to another country and that's gonna be the answer, no, you're gonna have to work your problems out here with your women. But also, you guys following Kevin Samuels, that stuff don't work in reality. Y'all look at him like he's a 10 alpha male. Just like We don't like masculine women. Women don't like masculine men. Y'all don't put that out. Women don't like feminine men. He never addresses, well, what is that? Is a woman, women don't like old men. They like security. So these things he's telling y'all, they do not work. In my teens, in my 20s, I never dated any woman with kids. I had sex with them. I never called them my girlfriend. Right now, at 38, it's unrealistic for me to expect to find a woman without kids. So I'm in a relationship with a single mother. It's been the best ever because I have a child myself. And like this woman said, me and my ex, my baby mother, we was planning to be married, but baby came before marriage and we separated. I wasn't happy with her, period. I don't even want to go back to her. But a lot of these things, you guys, they're not going to work in reality. It sounds good, but it has to be tested in real life. And I promise you, as you get older, it's harder to find people who ain't damaged, trauma. The dating gonna get harder and harder. Your options gonna get less and lesser. That's for men and women. Believe this junk you want to, that you gonna go get all this money and go get you a 24-year-old. I can't deal with no woman talking about after we get through with sex, talking about city girls go hard as fuck, bro. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with no woman acting with the mentality of a teenager and stuff like that. I have nothing coming with a 24-year-old at 38, and you won't want to be with them women. I'm with a single mother. It's the best relationship. I would not lie to you. Best relationship I ever been in, because what I need out of life and what now at 38 is not what I needed when I was 15 and 25. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I may come in later, but y'all
Sure.
young men, don't destroy your lives, man. He leading y'all down the wrong. He putting wrong ideas, and it's gonna waste your valuable years. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Very well said, Corrupt Author. I think you're very right about that. The danger with the stereotypical messages and not having situational nuance. Charlie Brown, your devices aren't connected. I'm not sure if you're not here, but connect your microphone or your camera so I could add you back to the stream. I see you in the background. If you can hear me, make sure you connect your devices. Yeah, I think that's great advice there. Very tangible advice. I know there was a little bit of roasting going on towards you, Corrupt, for saying Dominican Republican. I think that's a pretty catchy term. So well said. Okay, there you go, Charlie. I see you. The problem there is that, like you said, right? You might be missing on a blessing. You might be missing on an amazing thing, right? Because you listen to people who give you this very blanketed, sugar-coating advice wrapped up in the most life-changing, revolutionary indoctrination that mankind's ever seen, right? And then you praise them by the millions.
Sir,
right?
could you get your moderator? Somebody stole my profile pic and they round saying women stink in the comment section.
Oh,
That's not
okay. Okay. Sorry, Corrupt Author. Yeah, this guy's really busy, man. He's creating. I just saw the comment right here. Mods, if you see any insults from men, most of the time guys don't even really hurl insults like that that often. We can get to it pretty quickly. Today's been tough. I appreciate you, Corrupt. Thanks for letting me know. And mods, go ahead. They're working hard tonight. The mods are working hard tonight. I think it's a great point, and I'm happy about that. A couple of ladies in the chat just want to tell you, Corrupt Author, to make sure that you marry her at some point or another, right? Make sure that you keep marriage in the forefront of your mind, particularly and hopefully sooner, much sooner than later, right? Go ahead and make that legitimate. But I like the message, though. I can stand behind the message all the time, and I support that. I thoroughly support that. Let's go ahead and move on for a second here. I'm going to read some of the comments. I saw a couple comments that I really did want to say out loud, but now I cannot. Kenzo Lee says the Passport Brothers be getting constantly set up and robbed overseas. Yeah, I saw a live stream. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. Guys are going over to Brazil and getting drugged. There's some type of drug that they have over there. Let's see, Passport Bros robbed. Some type of drug that they have over there where it's like a powder or it's like some kind of alcohol, and they can put it on, these napkins, and just like the movies, you walk up behind them and you can go to sleep just like that. I don't know if it's fentanyl based or whatever it might be, but brothers are over there getting robbed, getting destroyed, and very bad things are happening to them, right? Well, that's what happens again when you follow a stereotypical or a fanciful idea that a country, any country, is just a perfect utopia. There's no perfect utopia. There's no perfection in life, unfortunately, gentlemen. You have to create your utopia. And when you create your utopia, you'll find that perfection seems to, or beauty seems to find you as a result. Without the utopia, you will not be able to have this perfection that you seek so viscerally. It just doesn't work that way, right? It just doesn't work that way. You can listen to professional guru year after year after year. If you're a loser at the end of the day, if you're an asshole at the end of the day, you're going to remain a loser and an asshole until you decide to change. It's just the way it goes. Let's go ahead and go to some of our members who haven't spoken in a while. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the link is in the description. Come up if you want to have a conversation. We're just enjoying this Tuesday night live stream. I'm glad to have you here. 271 people watching. Once again, these always start off as very lighthearted, and then all of a sudden we get deep and hot and heavy. But I enjoy it. I enjoy having y'all here, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's always good to have y'all here. I hope you're enjoying this. We're an hour and 50 minutes into it. We're going to be going for a little bit tonight. No rush. No rush. We're just enjoying the evening. I want to go ahead and go to Charlie Brown. After Charlie Brown, I'm going to go to Kier 101. After Kier, we're going to go to W, then Tavia as well. All right. So Charlie Brown, the floor is yours. That do say serious. I didn't even drink that much, but I'm not a drinker, so y'all bear with me. Go ahead.
I'm gonna quote the infamous Fleece Johnson. Black man, you can do this the easy way, or you can do this the hard way. Okay. Now, the hard way is taking your silly ass to a foreign country, going to try to find you some hut woman, or some virginal, submissive hut woman, and get had and get got. Okay. Or you can be 70 years old in a nursing home wearing diapers, screaming at the nurse, and she don't want to come change your diaper because you're an awful human being, and you just lay in the bed in your own poop and die alone. Those are your choices. You know, I'm honest truth. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Sure.
Black men, for the most part, are only cooperative when you have your foot in their ass. I ain't talking about all of them, but you talking about these belligerent, obstinate, churlish black men that's listening to Captain Samuels. You just seen the women get on his channel and try to be soft and feminine. I don't give my femininity to people that don't deserve it. And I don't think none of them niggas deserve it. But they go get up there and they get soft and feminine and let him humiliate them. And they trying to be reasonable. And they all laughing at the blood sport. And what Kevin Samuels needs is for somebody to get on his live and cuss his ass out. That's what he needs, okay? And that's what all the followers need. See, some men you can be sweet and feminine with. Yes, and some black men you can be that way with. But as a general rule, when you got 30% of black men that's got a prison record and they out here hitting women in faces with skateboards and biting people's eyes out, they don't like nice. So you can't give some people nice things. And so the problem with a lot of black women is you think you're going to reach them by coming to the man in the manner that he thinks is feminine and soft and trying to reason. You can't reason with no wildebeest. So if he want to act like a wildebeest, treat him like one. If they want to act like honest truth and be a civilized, intellectual, educated young man, then you treat them accordingly. But I treat people accordingly, and that's all I gotta say, honest truth.
Definitely. I appreciate that, Charlie Brown. Always appreciate that. And I agree with you there. We're going to move on to Uppity Unicorn, channel content creator and affiliated content creator in the building. It's good to see Uppity. She doesn't come on too much, but I enjoy every time she's on the panel. After Uppity, then we're going to go back to our rotation that we had previously mentioned, and we're going to get back to Salobo sooner or later. Corrupt Author, I saw you unmute. Give us 1 second. It's going to take a while to get back to you, but give us 1 second. Network 44, I see you in the background. I'll bring you up. Just give me 1 second. Uppity Unicorn, the floor is yours.
How's my sound? Am I breaking up at all?
It's a little bit, but I'm not sure if it's me, to be completely honest, because it sounds like everybody's breaking up a little bit tonight. So I'm thinking it might be me. I have no idea, but we can understand you though.
Okay, if it gets bad, let me know. I can just switch to my my desktop. But I was gonna add to the conversation that Black women and Black men, African Americans, it's very clear that we have divergent cultures. We are one group of people with two sets of subcultures. So, for example, Kevin Samuels will talk about and brag about sleeping with married women, will brag about and talk about sleeping with married women, and then say out of the same side of his mouth that he does not respect women who sleep with married men. Do you hear that as a contradiction? We will tell Black women you need to marry before you carry, but then the same manosphere that Kevin comes from will preach pump and dump. Do you see how this is a contradiction? Do you see how women can't win?
Right.
That's all.
Yeah. It's huge. It's true. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Like I said, you end up this is crazy. You end up getting with the guy, you marry him, you divorce for whatever reason, life happens, and I'm not even life happens. I understand. Divorce happens, right? I completely get it and I understand. But in their eyes, once again, this is another reason to hold your feet to the flames. Oh, you divorced. So in their eyes, you should have, and you're going to be held accountable now because they're males and they have accountability over you. Essentially, they see you as property, right? They have no empathy for you. They see women, Black men literally see who follow Kevin Samuels, millions of men at this point, literally see Black women as their property, right? Not as a human, as and this is why I always say that Black men are really some of the newest forms of white supremacy, because when Kevin Samuels has that woman on the platform, just like our ancestors were, asking her dress size and observing her, you look like a mighty strong woman. You look very good. Okay, so what do you weigh? Okay. So you're a good healthy weight. What, are you smart too? Is you a smart woman too? It's like a slave auction, right? And the Negroids, the white men, have been replaced by Negroids, who number, I think when he made his last live stream I saw, it was his Kevin Samuels gay live stream. So shock jock marketing there. It was 24,000 people, I think, watching and rooting for the women to get destroyed based off of their lack of slave qualities or characteristics, right? And so what ends up happening is, okay, since they're your slave owners, since Black men are the slave owners in this case, you need to be held accountable, and you need to listen to what the slave master, the Black male, the least everything in socio-capitalistic capitalistic America says about you, because you're a woman and he's a man, right? So you divorce, you married this man, you divorced for whatever reason. Well, now you should have chosen a better man to marry, because of course you have to be held accountable. It doesn't matter if you did everything right beforehand. It doesn't matter if you were a church girl that decided not to go to college because they hate educated women. It doesn't matter if you decided to forego all formal everything so you could become the housewife and you stood at home all day and cooked 25 meals and you made creme brulee as dessert every morning, and then you woke them up with, with baked tilapia, pancakes, and a 7-course breakfast every day for 5 years. The second you divorce that man, now you have to be held accountable, because obviously you did something wrong, right? Obviously you did something wrong. And so as a result, going forward, now it's time to go ahead and put you back up on the slave market platform or pedestal, right? Because obviously you're gonna want to date, right? Well, we got to hold you accountable for wanting to date, because you shouldn't be wanting to date, because you should have chosen a better man to begin with. It's this non-ending, ever-growing, gigantic snowball that essentially started off as a pebble-sized snowball, right? But like any snowball, if it's not stopped from rolling down the hill, if it's an infinitely tall hill, just like the Black man's lists of requirements and qualifications for Black women: cook, clean, have a college degree, but don't be too smart, because obviously that's masculine. Don't have your master's, that's masculine. A doctorate, that's definitely masculine. Don't be independent, because that's masculine. Don't talk back, because that's masculine. So long as this infinitely long snowball hill of Black man's requirements of Black women is not checked, and that snowball just keeps on rolling and rolling and rolling. And at the very bottom of it, the Black women are saying, "Hey, I need help," i.e. calling into Kevin's show, "Hey, I need help," i.e. I have no problem actually getting a man that has his life together. I have no problem submitting to a Black man. "Hey, I need help. I'm tired of being a victim in my neighborhood." They're just watching the snowball go down. But instead of the Black man trying to run in front of the snowball and stop it, and actually understanding or seeing that the Black woman will come and give him a big embrace and saying, "Thank you for stopping the snowball. I thought it was going to hit me." He's sitting at the top of the hill saying, "Oh, you better watch out for that snowball. You better watch out. And if you get hit by the snowball, then you're accountable for it, because I tried to warn you beforehand," right? when in reality he was the causation of the snowball to begin rolling in the first place. A very twisted, illogical, nonsensical way of thinking that a lot of black males have adopted as far as their relation goes in relationships, as far as their position in relationships. And this is what we fight against. Very interesting. Very interesting here. We're going to go ahead and add some more people up to the panel. Brown Foxy says, honest truth, I'm so happy you woke up and going against the BS. Yeah. I'm not sure if it makes me, maybe takes a certain level of intellect for guys to wake up, but obviously it doesn't, because I've heard men from all intellectual backgrounds, come onto the panel and say certain things. But it really makes me wonder, what exactly is it that just lends itself to this inept mental fortitude or fortification of the black man's thought process that can enable them to wake up? What is it? What's missing, right? What is it? Why is it that some guys just simply can't hear what I'm saying? Because I feel like this makes sense. I feel like when I say it, it makes sense. But once again, males will sit here and say, oh, no, that's not the way it goes. Okay. Or they'll agree with me. They'll say, oh, Truth, yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, Truth, you're pretty smart. You're pretty smart. But you're not as smart as me, though. Okay. We have Network 44, classic. Network 44 is in the building. Diana Prince is in the building, as well as Lynn. Let's get everybody else added up here. Did I take y'all down somehow? I don't know what's going on. Anyways, Network 44, bring me your grievances. I'm excited to hear them today.
All right. So can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. See, I just tuned in a little bit while ago, and I'm a little bit bothered by this talking point that I've been hearing.
Shocker.
You guys are talking about, talking down on black men that go overseas to, meet women. Here's my question for you. I've heard you a few times talk about, black women divesting, or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. So if black men are not getting what they want in America, what's wrong with them going outside the country and finding a woman who can, get along with them?
Yeah. Well, I guess it requires, or it needs to be known, what exactly are they looking for, right? What are they looking for? So what do you think that the passport bros go overseas to find?
Well, we all have our reasons, but I think, I don't want to get into, if you want me to be honest with you, I think a lot of American women, especially a lot of American black women, are at a point of no return in terms of being feminine, in terms of being submissive. So I support, like I said, I'm an equal opportunity person that supports people dating whatever they want to date. I think I've said this before on your platform.
Okay. So let me ask you a question.
I'm okay with black women dating white
black
men.
woman is at a point of no return in this case, right? So that means that they're going to be lonely forever. They're going to die alone, essentially, right?
No. Black women can date white men.
What is a point of no return? I need to know what that means. Specify that.
I mean, I don't probably want to get into details with that, but I think
you can't say something. You can't say something and not expect me to ask you to specify on what exactly you mean, because that's a pretty heavy sentiment to just verbalize or just spout out without actually backing it up with some sort of reference to what you're alluding to. What does the point of no return mean exactly?
I just think we've gotten to a point where some black women and some black men, at least in America, cannot get along. That's
okay. So the point of no return means that the women can't get along with them,
with the men in America.
So in your mind, point of no return would be a bad thing because some women can't get along with the most criminally convicted per 1,000, the lowest earning, the least educated group of men in America. That's a bad thing, right?
I mean, you can feel whatever you want to feel about black men, but I think
it's not a feeling.
Remedy here, I'm giving a remedy to the problem.
Let me ask you something. Do you think that what I said is a feeling based off of those statistics? Do you think I just feel like black men are the least educated? You think I just woke up and said, man, you know what? I feel like black men are the least educated. Is that what you think?
Like I said, black women can date whoever they want to date.
Answer my question. Do you think that I woke up one day and said that I feel that black men are least educated?
I mean, I'm sure you're speaking based on facts.
Okay,
the problem here is black women are not getting what they want.
Let's go ahead and talk facts. So in what world would, in this case, not being able to be on good terms with the least everything group of men in America, why would that make anybody feel bad? Why would you feel bad that you're missing out on other shit for the most part? Not all black men, but majority. Why would you feel bad that you're truly missing on destruction?
And I think I said this prior in your show. We do know the average black woman is overweight in America. I think we've talked about this.
D literally comes on the show and says the same thing every single time he's come on the show. I kid you not. He said literally the same thing every single time, and then he doesn't ever cam up. D, turn on your webcam right now. Turn it on. Can you do that? Turn on your webcam right now. I'm interested to see your biological makeup.
Me?
Yeah, turn on your webcam.
I mean, why should I do that?
Because I want to see what you look like.
That's irrelevant right now. That's irrelevant to this conversation.
So wait. It's irrelevant that black women's weight has nothing to do with your own weight, which you could be.
I'm not overweight. I work out.
Right. Well, how exactly am I supposed to just believe that you're this
you
person?
don't have to believe it.
Take your word for it.
You don't have to.
See, unlike you, I actually have facts, but you just you're spouting things, and we don't know what you are, what you look like. We don't know what you represent. Unlike what you say and what you believe, you can Google what I'm saying and what I believe. See, that's the difference between you and I. You just talk, even though black men's weight is nearly identical as far as being overweight. Even though we had a overweight live stream, acknowledging that these Instagram models who you guys have made multi millionaires, and rightfully so. Shout out to them. They should become OnlyFans models because there's no other way for you guys to get play. You guys are such losers. Even though you fantasize about these big booty models, which are, according to the same 1920s, I think was the overweight scale made, or that little BMI chart. I think it was made in the 20s by some French. Maybe it was even earlier than that. I think it might have been the 1800s, right? Literally 99% of Instagram models with these big booties are classified as overweight. And like 50% of them are classified as obese. If you're using this overweight scale, right? They're all overweight. And these are the most desired women, but Network 44 doesn't understand that, right? I wouldn't expect him to have the intellect to understand that he's using a measurement of body fat that was literally created, I think, late 1800s, right? Something ridiculous like that. Late 1800s. Right. $5 super chat from NK215 says black men expect to be unproductive derelicts and get submission. It's very true. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. We had another $5 super chat. I didn't read it, and I know I'm not going to be able to find it right now. Let me just give you guys an idea really quickly. Something wrong with us for not getting along with criminals who abandon their children who aspire to be like Future instead of Russell Wilson. My goodness. Can you imagine how unlucky you are up at Unicorn? Black women, you just struck the island of misfortune tonight. I tell you what. You're in a very, very bad place. Very bad place. So Lobo, you're supposed to be in the gym, so I'm gonna take you down for now. I got to add somebody else to the live stream. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna get to you. Diana is gonna be up next, then Fran, and then we're gonna go to Lin. Let me show you a woman who's overweight according to the 1890s. Let me see. When was the BMI scale created? I forget. It was created in the 19th century. Okay. It was created by a Belgian scientist named Lambert Adolphe Jacques Quetelet. 19th century. What is that? That's 1800s, right? It's 200 years old right now. Now let me show you what overweight is according to the BMI scale. It's crazy. These guys think they're so smart, and they're fucking idiots. This is the problem with so many black men. You think that you're brilliant, and you're so stupid that it pains most people to have a daily conversation with you. Like, it's painful to listen to you. It really is. Like, every time I listen, I'm like, damn. Oh, here we go again. Gotta try and make sense out of niggatry here. We have to try and make sense out of coon language.
Can I address?
Just 1 second, Corrupt. Just 1 second. Just give me a second. I'm trying to find something, but just give me a second. I'll let you go in 1 second, okay? I'm trying to find an appropriate picture. Jesus, my Google images here is going off. All right. I'm going to show you a picture here. This model is a size 18. She is not overweight. She is considered obese. Okay. This woman I'm getting ready to show you is considered obese. In what world do you think a nigga like Network 44 would not drop his entire existence of his life to be with this woman? This is the problem with you niggas, man. You niggas don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. So you're telling me, Network 44, that you would see this woman in the street, pull out your BMI calculator, and then tell her that because she's a size 18, that you don't want to date her. You and I both know that the percentage, the likeliness of that happening is so insignificantly non-existent that I am willing to quite literally bet the rest of the money I earn for the rest of my life on the fact that you wouldn't even have that thought cross your mind. But of course, you'll sit here and argue about BMI. BMI. Well, Network, it was good to hear from you again. We'll see you the next time we decide to have conversations about nothing, whenever that might be. Niggas, man. Miss Know It All for $2 says BMI. I think she said marry overweight white woman. Black men. Oh, black men will marry overweight white women. Yeah, that we've seen that a lot, right? Dimitri Willing for $5 says he needs to realize that most of these women want a green card, want money in a green card, and I don't want to kind of delve into that, to be honest with you, Dimitri. I appreciate the $5 super chat, but niggas, guys, y'all gotta understand, when y'all go to these other countries, these women aren't looking to marry you at all, right? That's not what they're looking for. That you're known, black men are known in other countries as the lowest tier of man. This isn't just an American thing, right? Black men are known in Ecuador and South America as the lowest tier of man. Everybody knows this, right? You're not going to be celebrated when you go to Mexico. As a matter of fact, they're going to tell you stay away from the black guys. And if they do bring you home to Padre, to Abuelita and Abuelito, they're going to look at you a little crazy and ask you if you speak Spanish, if you have any type of assimilation to their culture. And when you don't, they're going to look at their daughter, their whatever, in dismay and say, damn, she brought home, at all the races, she could have brought a white guy, Asian guy, whatever. She brought home a black guy. Don't kid yourself. All right. Don't kid yourself, and don't get yourself killed by going to South America. You can listen to me if you want to. You don't have to. It's your life. Do whatever you like. I advise you to listen while you can. We have more super chats. I appreciate everybody for donating tonight. As painful as it is, it's good to hear how these Negroids think it is. It's good to hear this. I say that in all due respect to the good black men in my chat, to the good black men who I call men. If you notice, I don't reference black men as men for the most part. I reference them as black males because they're boys, right? Stuck in these adult bodies. That's why I did the last live stream I did, right? The Peter Pan syndrome. I say males. A lot of these guys are not men, because to be a man means that you've developed emotionally to a certain level of accountability, right, of one's life. $5 super chat from It's Me says, I want to know what he looks like. According to him, he's 6'3". Listen to this. 6'3". He works out in the gym. He says he has a perfect gym body, but he doesn't want to ever hop on camera to prove it. What guy do you know that's going to have a perfect gym body, that's an attractive male, that's 6'3"? What guy do you know that's not going to be willing to hop onto a panel that's primarily filled with ladies?
Didn't he say he was going to send you a picture too? I remember him saying that.
He never sent it.
Yeah, and he backed out at the last minute on that same show, saying he wasn't going to do it.
This is lunacy, right? Literal mental instability, right? But we witness it in real time. In real time. Up the unicorns, that's a 200-pound woman, she says. Diana Prince says she's gorgeous. Absolutely. She's beautiful. Betty Gal with the eye emojis. Somebody said she's 250. 250, right? She were to call on Kevin's show and not show herself immediately, Kevin would flame and destroy her. All these guys would flame and destroy her, not knowing that she looks like that. That's why I said situational nuance is very important, but you can't get these guys to understand nuance because they look for blood sport. They're like sharks in the infested toxic waters. They look for blood. They look for blood. Shannon says they'll stop, drop, and roll for a white woman. There's even a stereotype on that, right? There's even a stereotype on that. I don't want to offend anybody right now. Not the white ladies watching. There's a couple white ladies watching. I looked at my analytics. We got some white ladies watching. Cognitive dissonance to the highest level. There's another $5 super chat. I'm missing it, so forgive me. I'm going to go on for our ladies in the panel. Diana, the floor is yours. After Diana, then Lynn, then Brown Foxy, and we'll get back to our other panel members. Diana, go ahead. Oh, just unmute yourself, Diana. Diana might be AFK, away from keyboard right now. Oh, there she is. Hey, Diana.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, I came in late. Is this a random hangout? I came
Diana,
across.
you sound so lit right now. It's
I
hilarious.
yeah.
Well, good. You stay lit. I'm gonna keep you there. We're gonna move on, but you hang out with us, all right? Because we want to hang out with you, okay? All right, Diana. Diana's lit, yo. Like new levels lit. Lin, the floor is yours. Lin, good to see you again, my dear. Go ahead.
Good to see you too. Oh my gosh, Diana. That's funny. I just took note of, back when Solobo was on, like how he regarded the panel, like some of the panel members here as aggressive, like, or, especially the woman, like even when Ty wanted to address him, he's like, oh my gosh, she's aggressive. I'm just like, that's what you consider aggressive? But this is probably one of the most rational, respectful, like platforms you will probably ever find discussing these kind of topics on YouTube. And it just shows you like how sensitive these men are, because I guarantee you, especially, if you're following Kevin Samuels and you watch more than one stream, you know how he talks to women. Like it's nowhere near comparable to the kind of the way that we regard one another here. And to like consider like someone's assertiveness as aggressive when in comparison to how Kevin treats the women that choose to call into his panel countless times, like it just shows you like you like the cognitive dissonance and the hypocrisy is so, it's just baffling. It's baffling to me,
Absolutely.
and I'll say, we talk about divestment. Honestly, like secretly, I feel like we shouldn't even be talking about this anymore. Like at least not openly, because I think the best way to go about it is to move in silence. And silence it's the best response. Silence is oftentimes louder than any of the angry outbursts, any of the, think pieces that you can do and say, I am divesting, I am leaving, I am going somewhere else. Just
Well,
go. Don't even give them any play.
the problem is that a lot of women haven't heard about divesting. So there is a need to vocalize, right? And to make the message public. You can't acquire or learn a concept that you've never heard of, right? And so a lot of women do need to hear these messages and the stories behind something that might be seen as such a controversial subject, especially when you start to think of how much mainstream media indoctrinates Black women to aid Black men, right? i.e. Black Lives Matter, right? So divestment does have a purpose. Now, I understand what you're saying. Just do it instead of always talking about it. But there is a method to the madness of talking about it, because you have to talk about it. And this is why mainstream media, this is why media is so important. Once you say and once you talk about something a lot, people start to indoctrinate themselves under your indoctrinations. For instance, if you turn on the TV every single day, and they tell you, it's going to be a hot day today. It's 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 a hot day today. Eventually, you're going to anticipate the hot day, or it'll become a normal part of your outlook on life, right? So I'm kind of saying it in a bad way, in a metaphorical allusion to this concept, but you can kind of understand what I'm saying here. It's not my best metaphor right here, right? But what I'm saying is that let's just take this. Well, I don't even want to talk about that. Let's just take a new threat that's out in the world right now, right? If you put that threat on a mainstream media outlet and you make it bigger than what it is, and I'm not pointing to anything in particular, y'all, so please don't go crazy in the comments because I don't want to get demonetized. If you make this threat more serious than what it is, over repeated efforts and over repeated months and over repeated days, eventually people are going to start giving that threat more credibility because you're indoctrinating them, right? And so indoctrination is a very, very important part of understanding or building a new concept of a movement or a new concept of life, right? So I see both sides. I understand what you're saying, but it is important to, to kind of understand both sides of that. But I get what you're saying, though. I do understand what you're saying. Now, let's go ahead and go to Brown Foxy. Brown Foxy, the floor is yours. Good to see you again. And what would you like to say on tonight's awesome hangout that we're having? 270.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
All right.
First of all, let me school homeboy that was just talking about going out of the country. Okay, and let me school him because I am a foreign woman, and I need to school him on this. First of all, number one, most people in other countries they value their culture,
Right.
and that's number one. I just want everyone to know that you're going to value your culture. It's a whole different mindset. When a guy comes down from another country, especially America, UK, any place where they know the dollars are strong, okay, of course they're going to come and pander you or pamper you or come after you or what have you. The first thing in their mind they think is money, okay, and green card. Also to the men, okay. I've seen and known people who got tricked. They go down there. The woman would have her man, just like someone on the panel said something about they had their man. The guy said they had the man.
Mhm.
They would have the man. The man would be in cahoots with the girl and the whole family. So they will come open arms, hey, kiss you, because they know that you're going to probably send them a barrel, give them a little money if they need or what have you. Okay. I've saw and heard stories of the man be right there in the face, hugging the man, right? And she would introduce and say, hey, that's my brother. Okay. And then they just like they would have another page with other things, and we have the other page to gain men. So that's what they do. So the boyfriends or the husband or whoever be right there with them, and then the boyfriends be doing it too with the woman. And they don't understand. They just think that they're better. They did no. Woman could be woman or woman can be a woman, but they feel like women from other countries are docile and stupid, and they're much smarter than what you think. And they know that. And then I see that black men fall in traps all the time. All the time, and they don't even know it because as long as someone strokes their ego, oh, it's all good, and they don't even see that. Yeah, they only with you because you have money. Oh, they with you because okay. Let me make my point. Another point too. I've noticed when black men be like with white women, it seemed to me they always like they're still a slave to the white woman. You understand? It's like the white woman have them in a way of like a slave. You see how they do everything and they on TikTok doing videos, doing things that we know that black women would never have their man doing. You understand? Like
Yeah.
a video that Cynthia G showed one time with the guy TikTok had the watermelon, and his white girlfriend feeding him the watermelon with the dog eating out of the watermelon.
Mm-hmm.
Would a black woman do that? Black women would never. Black women on the whole don't want their man to look like a sissy. They don't want their man looking like an idiot. But the white woman does it. They do things, as we say, under style. They it's like that slick diss. And they sitting there grinning and cheesing and don't even understand that white woman just had you like a puppet. It's a show for them. And they don't see it. They just see it as, oh, well, I got me a white woman. And they don't even see it, but we see it. But when we tell them, we hating on them.
I think it's a
I
good
don't
point,
know if
bro.
you agree.
Yeah. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I missed a good amount of what you said, but I like the end of what you said, though. End of what you said, though. I do like that. Just give me 1 second, Brown Foxy. I want to, and we'll come back to you in a second, dear. Thank you. Andre Godley Cooper, thank you for becoming a member, man. I appreciate that. Enjoy the members only videos. You can find them under the community tab, the members only playlist. Andre is a service member. He's a black man who was in the military who went to Iraq, I believe, and was injured by an IED. As a matter of fact, all of his platoon was killed with the exception of him. He commented, and we kind of went back and forth for a couple of comments. So when you talk about a badass, that's Andre right here, man. He's now retired, and he's done well for himself. But he shares a lot of the same struggle as a lot of us growing up in the black communities. Well, I didn't, but a lot of our members do, right? And he has a pretty insane story to tell. So I just want to pay my respects to you, man, and hope that all is doing well. But thank you for becoming a channel member. A true American badass right there, man. Badass guy right there. How do you become a member? You click the $sign. That's super chat link, right? So if you know how to super chat, you click that $sign that's in the chat box to the right. Some countries don't have the chat box $sign, so some countries don't let you super chat. But the other way to do it is to click this link. I'll put the members only link in. And the beautiful thing about becoming a member is, once again, is you can hear my videos that are the paywalled videos. So I have a video series called How I Became Homeless, part 1 and part 2. Part 3 is dropping soon, as well as vlogs. And there'll be other members only videos that is strictly reserved for those who are members of our community, right? And so once you pay $3.99 a month, or just for that month, if you want, whatever you prefer, then you become a member of the channel. I'm going to put this link once again into the chat box if you do not see the $ symbol. But anyways, you click the $ symbol, then click join channel. That's how you do it. If you have that in the chat box. If you don't have that, click this link right here. It's going to look like a link to a virus. Don't worry about it. Let me go ahead and put a caption there. To become a member, click that link. There you go, right there. There you go, right there. Yeah, thank you for your service, Honor. I appreciate that. And have y'all. We're growing our membership. Weber said that he doesn't have it on the $sign and he's in Texas, so you can't super chat. That's interesting, Weber. I don't know what's going on then. I don't know why that happens. You can click that link though. You can click the link that I just put in the description or in the chat box, and you can become a member that way. Okay. Let's see here. Who has not gone? Oh, Charlie Brown, did you wanted to go? So go ahead. The floor is yours. Actually, you know what, Charlie? Give me 1 second. I gotta let Kiera go. Kiera, did you want to say something? We always skip over you because I know you don't say much, but yeah, that link does look sketchy. I just shortened it on Bitly. That's all, but it does look sketchy. That's pretty funny, yo. Just click that link and everything's gonna be okay. Yo, that's funny. You did super chat? Well, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. Sign out of your YouTube account and sign back in. All right. Kiera, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you, honest truth. Thank you. Well, Charlie Brown was up a while ago, and I agree with everything she said. She's absolutely true. I'm not in the business of coddling people. I'm really not. I don't like the whole gray area. You're in, you're out. You're in, you're out. I don't like that. To me, it's either black or white. You're in or you're out. It's one or the other. I don't play games with people. I don't go in and out with people. I'm not inconsistent with my consistency, so I don't expect other people in my life to be the same way. If you're going to be in my energy, if you're going to be in my space, you're going to act accordingly. I'm a black woman, and I know what energy I carry. I'm not going to just let anybody come in and suck me dry just because you feel the need to, just because the world tells you that you're superior to me just because of your gender. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely, Kiera. Well said. Well said. And thank you, Kim Denson, for becoming a channel member as well. I appreciate that, Kim. Enjoy the members only videos in the community tab. Once again, youtube.com/thehonest-truth. Then click community. You'll find those members only videos. All right.
I wanted to say something else too. Just the last thing.
Of course,
I can't do right by someone or by a group by and large who refuses to do right by me in kind.
I think it's an interesting point. A point we don't often hear that much. And I think I agree with you wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly agree with that. Let's go ahead and go to Charlie. Charlie, go ahead. The floor is yours. I see you, Trunks Vert, in the back. W, I'm going to go ahead and take you down for now, W, but we'll come back to you on the next live stream. I just want to get a couple people who don't go as much. But W, I appreciate you, my dear. I always hate taking people down. I wish StreamYards let you have more people on the panel, but as it stands, they don't, right? Somebody else hopped down, so forgive us. Salobo, you're back. You waited it out. Salobo said he's not going to the gym. He was lying to us. He's not going to the gym.
I
Salobo,
was on my way to the gym, but I was like, this is more important to me right now. I could put it off tomorrow.
Well, I appreciate the compliment, Salobo. Thank you. Thank you for postponing a rain check in your workout for us, man.
Yeah, this is a nice event, man. I'm enjoying this. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you, man. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. I'm sure the ladies do too. You know, we just want to make sure that we understand each other, right?
Yeah. Is it cool for me to talk now?
No, it's not. We'll come back to you though.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're fine, man. I'm messing with you. All right, Charlie, go ahead.
I ain't gonna lie, honest truth. He say he enjoying us. I'm not feeling reciprocal. I'm just gonna
keep it real, Charlie. Keep it real.
Square 100. You know how I am. I'm 100. I ain't enjoying.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
But that's neither here nor there. I'm glad I had some time to cool off because I was gamma ray burst hot when Network 44 was on here. I was mad. I ain't gonna lie. Because that slick crapola he was pulling, oh, everybody should date who they want. And if they want to divest, first of all, he said that sarcastically. See, in his mind, he thinks that anything black is inferior. So he figured if we gonna divest, ain't nobody gonna be checking for us because he don't think nobody interested. So he was basically going back to the "you gonna be old and die alone" bull. See, they try to be slick with that mess. That's what he was doing. Y'all can go divest. He really don't think we can. But and that's part of that. That's why he said it, number one. And number two, we passed the point of no return. That remind me of a man that beat up his wife, and then after he give her 2 black eyes and break her nose, he sit on the edge of the bed and start crying. And then the woman coming with 2 black eyes and a broken nose. After he cries, she's sitting over there soothing him with 2 black eyes and a broken nose. That's really the same. It's the same type of situation. They done spent 10 years on social media beating the crap out of black women. And then when we start saying we ain't taking it no more, we done, then all of a sudden it's our fault. And you got a bunch of black women feeling guilty for being mistreated and trying to stand up for themselves. That's number 2. And number 3, if he want to go to the Dominican Republic, Colombia, Africa, Pluto, the Andromeda Galaxy, who cares? They've been telling me for 10 years they was going to put up the wall. I just want to know when they going to climb over the wall and shut the hell up. That's what I want to know. When is it going? Because they've been telling us they was going to put up the wall of silence and they ain't shut up yet. It's been 10 years. Climb over the wall and be quiet, nigga. I'm just, me, honest. I like to keep it 100. All
Absolutely.
these men sitting on here talking about what they gonna do. Don't tell me. Show me. You said you're going. Bye.
That's it. I completely agree. I'm talking about going passport broing, but you're still in America. So
I'm gonna jump down, honest, because I think somebody might be trying to get on.
Oh, we have space. You're good. You can stay if you'd
Okay.
like to.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
got
hit
space.
the mute though.
All right, Charlie. I appreciate you. I love having Charlie on. And yeah, keep it real, Charlie. We need that. We need that energy all the time. I appreciate that. Gordon upset at me. Gordon messaged me on Instagram. I do have an Instagram. You can find me if you're creative enough to know how to find me, right? You're not missing anything. I don't upload that many pictures. So you've been telling me to try out this gelato ice cream. I'm gonna try it soon, Gordon. I promise. I was gonna get it today, but it just didn't, it just didn't look like it was gonna do it for me. I'm tightening up my diet, making sure that I'm here for the next 20 or 30 years for y'all, so we can all enjoy it together as we crusade through the YouTube galaxy and change lives, change souls, change destinies. So that's what I'm here for. So it's good to see y'all. Okay, it's good to see y'all. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Okay, we are 2.5 hours in. That's right. Can you believe it? 2.5 hours, just like that. Where's the time gone, huh? Where has the time gone? I tell you what, it's great to have you on with us tonight. Thank you for everybody that's been a member. We're going to start to wrap it up. I hate to say it. I know y'all could go literally all night, and I love that. Y'all could go all night. I absolutely love it. We're going to start to do our final words, and we're going to go in sequential order on the panel. We're going to have another live hangout. Make sure you don't miss our next live hangout. The best way to not miss any of the content that I drop here is to click that notification bell that's right by the subscribe button. Once you click that little bell, set all notifications to all, or set your notifications to all notifications. I don't know what happens when you click personalized, so just set it to all. That way you'll be able to get every single upload that I have on this channel. You'll be able to catch us in our community on every single live stream in the future. Take part in this active community we have. We have a Discord. Nobody hops on it, so don't even worry about going to the Discord, to be honest with you. But having said that, we love and we would love to have you here in our community. Queen Mercy says the candle looks good. This candle is provided by one of our sponsors, uniqueboutiquecandles.com. Make sure to check them out. This is also brought to us by Jazzy Wet Lips on Amazon. The best and most colorful, most vibrant and sexy, if you will, lip cosmetic gloss, if you will. All right. You know I'm a guy, so I don't really understand the terminology. Go buy one. They look great. Trust me, I wouldn't give you anything that's trash. This is the honest truth, and I'm going to give you the truth so long as I live. We're also brought by Mystic Tone on Instagram, all natural. And let me say something really quickly, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot to do this on the last stream. Check this out. All right. So when you order a special edition box on Mystic Tone, this is a special edition one here, right? You open it up, it comes a lot better packaged than that, but you know, I already opened it. Incredible products. This is a body cream, right? Maybe we'll do another giveaway coming up soon. This is a Blue Lagoon whipped body butter. Blue Lagoon whipped body butter. Incredible stuff. I haven't even used this part yet because I have a whole nother box. There's a candle that comes with it. This may or might not come with it. Now, this is the special edition package. There's a necklace that comes with it. So if you're into gems, gemstones, if you're into minerals, if you're into crystals and things of that nature, that's here for you as well. And then they have oils. This is the beard oil, but I'm currently using. Now, this won't come with your box. This is my own specified box. So I have a certain arrangement or assignment. But I just want you to know that the quality in the products that I recommend for you, ladies and gentlemen, because this is for gentlemen too, is on point with the quality of production that you see here, is on point with the quality of people that you see here. It's on point with the need to have quality in our community, right? So I support the very best of us, and I thank you for supporting me and everyone on this channel as well. Thank you for everybody that's gone out to buy on Instagram.com/Mystic Tone, as well as Jazzy Wet Lips on Amazon, as well as Unique Boutique Candles. If you have a business or a sponsorship deal you want to kind of negotiate, my email is thehonestTruthYT@gmail.com. I'll do everything I can if you fit the ideal and the narrative of this channel to help you out as much as I can with the platform that everyone is so graciously given and over to me, right? I'll do my very best. You have my word. You have my word. Let's go ahead and start with Trunksford just got here. So Trunks, we might not be able to come really get to you today, man. We're getting ready to wrap up here in a bit. So Trunks, I'll let you say something, but these are going to be your first and your final words, okay? Your first and your final words for Trunkford. Go ahead, Trunks.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, man.
I was just gonna say, I think black men are just angry. They know they're taking a bunch of L's, and everything they do right now is just them acting out. They don't want to admit that they've taken L's because they know they're gonna be weak either way. They're going through the phases. They're kind of like Vegeta in Dragon Ball at this point. They just talk a bunch of shit and they just get their ass handed to them, and they just keep, and it just repeats itself constantly. So it's at a point where there's nothing you can really do for them. They have to find their own way and change themselves.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. 1000% agree with you. Absolutely. And Trunks, listen, I appreciate that, man. It sounds like you got some lovely jazz music going on in the background, man. Good vibes, huh?
Yeah.
That's it, man. Hey, nothing wrong with it, bro. I love jazz as well. Hey, check out Bossa Nova. Bossa Nova. I'm not sure if you listen to it. I'm typing it in the chat box right now. And listen to a man. I'll tell you the exact album to listen to. Antonio Carlos Jobim, Finest Hour. Copy that entire description I just put in the chat box. Go listen to that tonight, man. Some of the most beautiful music you've ever heard in your life, I promise you. Portuguese jazz is what it is. Not many know about it. Once you hear it, you won't ever be able to forget it. It's incredible.
Thank you.
Right?
I will.
All right, Trunks. We'll see you on the next one. Make sure your notifications are on, okay?
All right.
All right, Trunks. Trunks is a young guy. Enlightened brother. I appreciate that. Can we go for 3 hours? Can we go for 3 solid hours? I don't see why not. Y'all give so much to me. Why can't I make it 3 hours? We're going to make it 3 hours tonight. Kier asked if we can go 3 hours. Absolutely. Weber with a $5 super chat says, a white man taught me about black male inferiority complex. A black man damaged their women, then run to everyone else's communities after their men did all the work. That's how white men look at black men. They truly do look at us that way. Not just white men, but the rest of the world. They see black men. They see us as a plague. I talked about that in Nobody Wants Black Men, Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3, the collective series that has, I believe, amassed over 30,000 views, the most successful series to date. Charlie Brown says she can't make it 3 hours. No problem, Charlie Brown. I'm teetering on the verge of not making it 3 hours, so don't worry about it. I'm going to eat as soon as I get off of the live stream, and I'm right there with you. It's not because you're old. It's because it is midnight here in Texas, and arguably, I believe, 2 o'clock in the morning on the Eastern Coast, maybe 3, 10 o'clock at night in Cali, right? So trust me, I'm right there with you. If you're heading out, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to see you in a couple of days. I hope that you enjoyed this. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me zoom in for the last 30 minutes of the live stream, right? last 20 minutes of live stream. All right, Corrupt Author, the floor is yours. Corrupt Author, I appreciate you being online and sharing your sentiments, man. I'll leave the last words for you. Go ahead.
Okay, black men, black women, because I seen you black women trashing black men. Can we come out of the same womb, the same household, the same community? Let's try to respect each other. Let's try to have peace. Let's try to, let's try to encourage one another. And the best way to change people is not flapping your lip, winning arguments in the comment section online. The best way to change people is walk respectfully in your own life and be an example, and people will follow. All right, I'm out. But I love y'all, man. Even though with all our problems, I love y'all and I'm with y'all. Peace out.
Not a problem, Corrupt Author. Expect to get flamed on your way out, but thank you for joining us tonight, man. It's Corrupt Author. He's with a black woman and he loves her, so we just hope that he gets married to her, and that's my concern right there, right? So go ahead and handle that responsibility, man. And interesting last words, but what can you say, right? What can you say? But hey, what can you do? Final last words. There we go. Diana, I'm sorry, Diana. Yes, Diana, your final last words for the evening. You can give comments or remarks based off of what you saw, what you've seen recently, or whatever it might be. Right? Diana, go ahead.
Yeah, I enjoy your channel so much. I've been telling all my friends, and I'm
Thank you, Diana.
sending them here. And black men need to really get their shit together. That's the bottom line. All this whining, crying, throwing tantrums, going to other groups of men, talking crap about black women, blah, 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 blah. That's not helping them. That's making them look stupid. Because no other group of men talk about their own women but black men. And then they talk that submission crap. Black men keep doing what y'all been doing. You guys are desired. You guys are loved. And God gonna send you the right man, and whoever that is, he may not look like you, but you'll be getting the love and the respect that you deserve. Keep putting yourself first. And the honest truth, thank you for your channel and showing all the ladies that they are loved and they're valued and they are important. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Diana. Thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one, my dear. Diana Prince, ladies and gentlemen. She's out of the building. We'll see her soon, though. It's always good to have Diana on. Diana was funny tonight. Brown Foxy, your words. Go ahead, Brown Foxy. Brown Foxy might be AFK. A term used for describing gaming players or video game players not being at their computer at that time for whatever reason. So we'll come back to Brown Foxy, who might be away from the computer or away from the keyboard, AFK. Lin, go ahead, Lin, for your final words, my dear.
Yeah, I'll just say on the note, on Corrupt Author's note, I hope that you can take that message to Kevin Samuel's channel and take this message of kumbaya, we come out of the same womb, etc., etc. Please go on to Kevin Samuel's live stream and direct that message to him. Thank you.
I think this is some very poignant. Is that the right word? Let me look up poignant. No, man, my word sense has been terrible. Definitely not poignant. I think that's a very, very, very strong and an important final word. Arguably the most important as far as final words go for the evening. Talked about accountability earlier, right? What accountability is. The danger of accountability. That's what Salobo brought up. Salobo's still here. Salobo, I'm going to take you down for now, Salobo. We've already had some interesting last words, so I want to make sure we don't do any more irreparable damage at this point. But Salobo, you keep on listening, my friend, and hopefully you get something out of this. That's my goal, my dream, and my desire for you, right? So we'll take you down. Good to see Salobo in here. Absolutely. I agree with you 1000%, Lindon. Keep that same smoke. Keep that same smoke for the white man, right? Keep that same smoke. Lindon, we'll see you soon, my dear. All right. That was a great point by Lindon. Very well said. Tavia, the floor is yours. Go ahead for your final words.
Yeah, so here comes the flaming. I didn't want to do this, but somebody done. Like, why did they do this? We were going fine. we were past respectability, beloved. We're past that. For decades, we've been told by the media, white media, and then the men in our community picked up the mantle, the message from the white media, and began to tell us that we're ugly, that we're not good enough. We've had men, leave fatherless homes. We're past respect when that happens. We're past respect when we see the numbers as far as Black femicide is confirmed. We are past respect when the conversation turns to Black men killing other Black men. See, we're past respect when we talk about how the men in our community, instead of wanting to be faithful and loyal to one woman, they rather make up different ways to talk about polyamory. We don't want that shit. We've been telling y'all that. We want one man and that's it. And we're not trying to share it with nobody else. But see, when you do things like that, you raise up the rate of sexually transmitted disease. So that's not respect, is it, right? When you talk about the gaslighting, the constant gaslighting, with men telling us that our problems are only surface levels, that we just need to go to therapy. How about you stop causing trauma to us? How about you listen to us, right? And protect us from the trauma that some of you clowns are causing. So we're past the conversation of respect. We're literally past that. At this point, you should be apologizing, and you should honestly be coming to the table with solutions, as opposed to telling me, a Black woman, that I need to respect you. See, respect is earned.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Tevye. I agree 1000%. Yeah, I don't know why we had to kind of delve right back into that, right? It's like, we were doing so well, right? I don't know, man. So, hey, but I think that you addressed it properly and thoroughly and perfectly. We'll see you soon, Miss Tevye. And feel free to send me more emails whenever you get. And I really like the concept and the idea that you brought to me. That was perfect, man. That was awesome.
You got another one right now, actually. It's super good. I got you. It's on the psychology of an entitled Black man who comes from a good family, well educated, but still ending up busting shots at his baby mama and son. So be ready.
Jeez. All right. I appreciate that, Tevye. Well, we'll see you soon, my dear.
Good night.
Good night. All right. I like that. It's good stuff to look forward to right there. Ty, go ahead, Ty, and I'll let your final words. I know you probably have a good amount to say. You've been waiting for a while, so go ahead.
Honestly, I wasn't even going to say a lot.
Okay.
Excuse me, because I am just so tired. But what I did want to say, a couple things, is that this was fun. I know we do get a little deep, and I know, my questions can be a little deep, but I hope you guys appreciate it.
Very much so. They were great questions. You can, like I said last time, you can tell that this is what you do. You ask questions that someone told me. You ask questions that make you have to come to the realization or to the revelation that can give you your breakthrough. And I thought that was a perfect way of saying that. I was like, wow, she does.
Yeah, it's a skill. It's a skill. I'm in training. I'm still in training. It takes like 10 years to become a therapist. So
wow, jeez.
Yeah, it takes a really long time. We have to get like 3,000 supervised hours. But yeah, I just wanted to say that, I was having an interesting conversation about healing, and I feel like healing is such a big buzzword, and people are saying, this is how you heal. This is how you heal. You need to get the awareness first. You need to do this. And at the end of the day, we're all living on a rock. We're all living on a spinning rock in the middle of nothingness.
Yep.
And because of that, I would like for people to understand that the problem is the problem. The problem is the problem. None of us are the problem. The problem is the problem. So because if we externalize that, then we can start to not personalize it and then start to have solutions. If we sit here and say Black women are Black men, instead of saying the problem is this, then we can come to a better realization and better solution. So that's what I want to say. I also want to say, life is complicated. And the best way to create good relationships with people is to listen. Listen and ask questions. If you listen and ask questions, you will get to know how somebody is. Also, I want to say too, if you're a man and you are trying to be an ally for Black women, you need to listen, one, and you need to not defend yourself because you are in a position of power. You need to learn how to care for the people that are quote unquote under you, whatever we want to say. The
Absolutely.
best thing that I did in my life was realize how much privilege I had. When I realized how much privilege I had, I was immediately humbled. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Ty. And for those who are looking for maybe speaking with you and maybe doing consultations virtually or actually speaking with a clinical therapist, is that the right title? Or how can they reach you? And you have a channel, right?
Yeah, I do have a channel. My channel is Ty the Gemini, but if you want to reach out to me on like getting finding resources in your area, you can go on IG and it's Soul Ty the Therapist. So you can type that in IG.
All right, sounds good. I think I tried searching for your channel and didn't pull it up. So put your link in the private chat. Okay, I'm gonna take you down, but you'll still be able to private chat. So I can put your link in the live chat. Okay.
Okay, we'll do.
Thank you, Ty. All right. And last but certainly not least, of course, the wonderful Kier. We'll put Ty's links up in 1 second, so y'all be on the lookout for that. You can subscribe if you'd like to. Before Kier goes, it looks like Avadi and Solobo will be doing a talk possibly on her channel in the next couple of days, so make sure you subscribe to Uppity Unicorn. Let me put Uppity Unicorn's links in the chat. She is another content creator who we work very closely with in association. Very, very, very unique outlooks and perspectives. So make sure to check that out to subscribe to the Unicorn. Somebody just joined the live chat. Who's that? Diana just joined again. Diana's lit. There you go. So make sure you subscribe to Uppity Unicorn. Catch that conversation between Solobo and Uppity. And I'm sure it's going to be more madness, but definitely from a different perspective. Uppity has a unique way of playing a very, very balanced and fair-sided person, almost a mediator in the conversation. I will be watching that conversation, Solobo, so speak freely, and I'll be watching from the clouds. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure if you watch, it'll be just as interesting to you as I think it'll be to me. All right. Diana, we're going to take you down for now, Diana, but I love you though, okay? I do love you and I enjoy you. I hate taking you down, but we'll see you soon. Kiera, go ahead, Kiera. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you.
I don't know what I just said right there. I said, yes, sir. Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's almost 12 and you haven't ate yet. What's going on? That's the second time that's happened.
I know. Well, you know what happened was I was out when I did the pre-recorded video, right? So when I did the Tinder experiment, the pig lady experiment video, I was watching it while I was out, and there were like almost 200 people watching, and I was like, "Dang, should I go live, y'all?" And they're like, "Yeah, go live." So I just rushed home, and I didn't eat anything, right? And then I started drinking too a little bit, so it didn't help. So now I'm a little, and I'm starting to come back too, but I was a little tipsy, and I was a little hungry, and then a bit of a headache coming on. So it's a bad combination, right? But you party like a rock star, you got to show up to the concert, man. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and try to make this quick so you can get out of here and you can go eat.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
Okay, well, my first point, I guess tonight, since we're all really talking about the men, I'll just focus on the men for tonight. Right now at this moment in my head, my question right now is like, why would you want to make life harder for the next generation that's to come? Right. Why would you want to do that to your own gender? Another question I have for you is, within your own gender, where is your safe place? Where's that at? Right now at this point, I don't see that a lot of you are good for your gender, for your own gender. And if you're not good for your own gender, then I can't believe that you're also good for your counterpart either.
Very true. And great point there.
Absolutely. And my last point will be, if you are aware of your gender as you claim, you would be able to separate yourself from the men who cause harm to Black girls and women. Just saying.
I think that's very well said. Very, very, very well said. In the chat right there, Kira, that's a great point. That's the biggest problem I think I have with guys is that they'll push back on my narratives, in support of a group of men that they don't even associate with. Right? It's like, well, women aren't talking about you in this case. You're not the guy that she speaks on, so or has animosity for. You're with a black woman yourself, right? In that guy's case, I forget his name. So why are we bringing up this drama again when that doesn't even apply to you, right? Very, very, very good point there. Very great point. I appreciate that, Kira, and we'll see you on the next one. Okay, my dear.
Yes, absolutely. Stay safe, everyone. Honest truth, stay safe, and get something good to eat, please.
Oh yeah. Oh, I am. I'm gonna eat something really good here in a bit. I'll be okay, y'all. I'll be okay. But absolutely.
You know
All right.
this chat. You know this chat in the space is full of women. We worries about you, and then you say you don't eat, and it's almost midnight, and you know some of us are Southern.
Well, I need to take that into consideration. You're very right. You're very right. I appreciate that. Y'all have no idea how much it really does mean. I know y'all do. That's why I ran home so quickly. I was like, man, I gotta make sure I'm putting on. They want me to go live. I'm about to go live. Then I got to. I got people that appreciate me, support me, and I want to make sure that I'm giving everything I got. So I
Well, make
appreciate
sure the next time before you eat, just tell us in the community chat. Hey guys, I'm gonna go eat. Go eat.
All right. I will, Carrie. I promise I will. I'm gonna let you know next time. I'll definitely do that next time. For sure, for sure. You have my word, my darling. I'll see you soon, Carrie.
All right, see you soon.
All right now. I like that. I like that. Care sweet. Y'all do care about me. I care about y'all as well, man. Y'all let me know. We got some problems. Let me know. I'll travel over there. I'll take care of it. My counselor would be like, "No, Jonathan, don't do it, man." Oh no, I'm not going to sleep. I'm gonna be up for a while. I stay up for most of the night, to be honest with you. I fall asleep early in the morning. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost at the 3-hour mark. Organic Black says we want to see you win. I appreciate that, Organic. Thank you all. I feel like a winner for sure. I do feel like a winner. I really do. And I'm excited to see where this channel is going. I know we're going to do great things, and the numbers continue to grow. This live stream alone, I think we gained like 20 subscribers, I want to say. All right. So we'll be at 5,000 soon. I remember when I was celebrating crossing the 1,000 subscriber mark. It wasn't even a year ago. 1,000 subscriber mark. We're getting ready to get to 5,000. 5,000 is not a small number. It's not the biggest in comparison to YouTubers who are very large YouTubers. 5,000 is not a small amount of people. I'm excited about that. And I know it's going to get to 10,000. I know it'll go to 25,000 because if it got to 5,000, then it can go to 25,000. To infinity and beyond, as the great Buzz Lightyear said, right? So I know that that's a possibility. And I'm excited for the future. I'm excited to have you, one of the channel OGs who have been with us for a long time, who's been with us for the past 3 hours, still here. My email, Diana Prince was asking me, is the honest truth yt@gmail.com to email me, right? I put it in the live chat box. That's the best way to reach out and get into contact with me. I will get back up with you, right? I'll get back up with you. Sis Soldier said this is fast becoming one of my favorite channels. I appreciate that compliment, Sis Soldier. Lovely picture as well. I appreciate that. Queen Mercy said we don't play that. Kenzo, I was going to leave 30 minutes ago, but the ladies asked me to stay. So I had to stay. I was obligated and obliged to stay in the same breath. You got to do what you got to do. Party like a rock star, show up to the concert. That's it. Keena, you are so late. Keena, you're beyond late. Said late as that. What are you even doing right now, Keena? You missed the entire 3-hour stream, girl. It's all right, though. You got the replay. The replay does have live chat capabilities. So if you're watching on the replay, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you turn on the live chat. If you're doing audio only, thank you. And once again, the best way to listen if you're doing audio only is to buy a YouTube premium membership. $12 a month, the best $12 a month I spend. You can turn your phone off or turn the screen off and have it blacked out, and YouTube still runs in the background. A pair of Bluetooth headphones will get you through any work shift known to mankind. I promise it, and I guarantee it. This is going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. I actually need to put up the Truth Seekers outro because I didn't put it up in the beginning of the show. I'm excited as well, April. I didn't put it up in the beginning of the show, so I need to put it up now. The next thing that you're going to see and hear following my words and my voice is the outro to the Truth Seekers Live podcast. Hopefully it does work. If it doesn't, then enjoy the audio as well as the muffled, crackled, and dusty video quality. Assuming everything does work as perfectly as I'd like it to, then enjoy the video quality outro as well as the music. I think I'll be back tomorrow, y'all. I think I'll be back tomorrow. I'm not positive, but we might have another live stream tomorrow. If we're not back tomorrow, then we'll be back on Thursday, right? Because today's, well, you know what I'm saying. It's midnight here, but later today, right? Wednesday. We'll be back on Thursday night if we're not doing a live stream Wednesday night, okay? Some aspects of the country, some areas of the country, it's still Tuesday. Here in Texas, it is Wednesday officially, 6 minutes past Wednesday. So keep that in mind, at least a day or two at the most, 2 days or 1 day before we come back with another dynamic live stream. I've started working on it, and you can bet your bottom dollar that the consistent quality that you expect here from the truth seekers in our community and from myself, Jonathan, will be delivered in a timely, professional, clear, concise format for your viewing pleasure. This is going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen, on the Truth Seekers Live podcast. Make sure that you create another YouTube account. Take a break if you need to from this drama, from this world. Create a fresh YouTube account. Watch videos about puppies, bowling, depositions if you'd like to. They're extremely entertaining. And make sure that you take care of your own mental fortitude before it starts to do harm to you. Because as much as it's good to hear this knowledge and information, if it's only harming you but not giving a benefit, then ultimately it can turn into a bad thing, right? So once again, I love you, and I'll see you in the very near future. I look forward to listening to Salobo and everybody else who wants to speak to Uppity Unicorn on her channel on that live stream. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, take care. Good night.